Good morning. It is Tuesday, the 20th of August. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture, as defined by the culture. And as always, you're hosted by the best people. We'll let you know who we are.
It's your boy, 6 or plus a pure temptation.
Good to see you back, man.
Big Mark from the east side of the bridge. What's going on, people? Morning.
I know, it was a little suspicious, wasn't it? I was like, you just never know what Brent's got up his sleeve. You just don't.
Don't know whether it's underhanded
You
or you just don't know.
You don't know.
Why are you reconnected?
It was never lost. We never disconnected.
We never lost it.
What are you talking about? This is the thing. What are you talking about?
Bluetooth.
As always, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
How come you love taking pictures so much?
That's not true.
No,
love
it's because of the
taking
flag,
pictures.
man. You should have seen
You
E-Man as
going
element.
crazy with that flag.
I was
Margs,
trying to remind the people, man.
you should have seen him. Have you got a copy in your house yet? You ordered one?
Delivery.
Okay.
It's coming.
Because honestly, it suited him though. Yeah, it did. He actually, it was given power to the people.
Garveyite.
That's right.
No, literally.
That's right.
The whole thing.
Was it good?
It was great.
Yeah,
It was
man.
absolutely fantastic. It was really, really good.
You missed the trick, man.
You missed the trick, man.
Well, you were doing God's work anyway.
Absolutely, you were.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we'll talk about that in a second. Brent, how are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. Good morning to the chat. Good morning to me. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Christy. Good morning, DCF Mux. Good morning, Amy Snowglobe. Good morning, Ghana's Greatness. Good morning, INB. Good morning, Black Mara. Good morning, Paul Wall. Good morning, Star Crew. Good morning, Dr. Amani. I ain't seen you for a while. Probably been on holiday. Good morning,
She
Nissy.
has been on holiday, actually. Living
is
her
it?
best life. Yeah, she just got back.
All right, okay. Welcome back. Good morning, Nissy. Good morning. She took up a space on the trip.
Who?
Dr. Amani.
Well, I didn't
So,
come.
wait,
Yeah.
you were in Jamaica.
No way.
And you're out here getting tickets.
Terrible. It's just the case.
You be your own people, you know.
All people.
You be your own doctors.
The educated.
You're dumb.
Good morning, Nissy. Good morning, Mother Booth. Good morning, Antonia Hansen. Good morning, GMD. Good morning, Vaughn. Good morning, Ruby Wednesday. Good morning, JW. Good morning, Lala. Good morning, Abby Apia. Good morning, Davina. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Everest. Good morning, Gin and Gist. And good morning, God Crew. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Sorry. You right?
Do you know what it's like? Basically, you know how, Fitz? Everyone knows Fitz Grant Gerald, right? Right?
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
from
Scandal.
Scandal.
So in real life, the actor that plays him was at a convention thing for Kamala Harris. Obviously giving a speech and whatnot. So obviously he's been trending because he really got in his Fitz bag. So this girl was basically saying, she said, my 84-year-old auntie called me to ask who the fine white man was at the DNC because he seems like he could have really been good for America. I choked back my laughter real bad and told her softly, he was great for America and black women loved him. She asked for his name and like clockwork I replied, Grant. Fitzgerald Grant, I believe. She said, damn, his name even sounds important. And then she let out a Baptist, told her somebody tried to kill him once. Then I stopped because I could barely breathe at this point and she started damning them to hell intently. And I don't know if she'll ever find out, but I haven't laughed that hard in months after she hung up. She said, I know I'm wrong, but I did it for us. I did it for the United States of America. Genius. He's so great, man. He's an elite white. Beautiful man. Anyway, don't tilt your neck back at me. He's actually that. He is not Gareth. Gareth could never. Fitz is a beautiful man.
Are you showing him a picture of Fitz?
Yeah.
There's a video. I'm showing him a video of Fitz in motion, doing what Fitz does.
I hate Fitz.
Do you? Do you like Jake?
Yeah, I prefer Jake.
Yeah, but I feel like Jake is a Khalid there. That's why.
Yeah, I prefer Jake. But Jake turned into an
Jake-
idiot.
Jake?
Turned into a top idiot. as
No,
well,
he turned to
though.
a mug.
He lost his mind.
He was ridiculous.
It's Olivia's fault, really. She
Listen.
makes everyone go crazy.
Yeah, man. Olivia is where it's at, clearly. Have you seen Fitz and Olivia in real life, as in Kerry Washington and what's his name? I don't know his name.
Why have they got allegations?
No, as in they've never been in the charges. But they're both married. Their partners are but they just have really great, like they're just really close friends and really just got really great chemistry.
No, but they might have chopped though. Because they was working together for a long
For
time.
years. It's kind of like 10 seasons, 11 seasons.
They chop on Strictly Come Dancing. What's that, like 8 weeks?
Yeah, but they're missing it.
What do you mean?
Actually, no, because some of them are married, isn't it?
Yeah. Like doing like rumba every day and that. It's different.
That rumba.
So maybe. Because when people got good chemistry like that, they
I
might...
hope not, man. I hope it's just like sexual tension. That's more exciting, I think.
Okay.
That's more exciting than sometimes. Anyway.
Because they might be method actors.
What's a method actor?
Go.
Well, you got to practice in real life to get the script right.
Yeah. Like, method actors like dig deep. They got
Could you imagine?
they get into the role. You
Come
get
from
me?
a real place.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? But no, man, big up Fitz every damn time. How was your weekend, Marks? What were you up to? I saw that you done travelled.
I was in Liverpool, man.
Why you always cussing places where you go?
Huh?
Like, why you always cussing places? What was it this time? Oh no, you were cussing a restaurant, a Nigerian restaurant, wasn't it? And you said somebody took so long to bring the food, and then the food didn't even slap, something like that.
Oh my God, no, it wasn't like the food that didn't slack. It took so long.
Oh, they forgot your sea bass, something like that.
They bring all, there's no sea bass. They're bringing out all these sides, bringing out all the suya.
So why would you? Because who goes to a Nigerian restaurant and orders a sea bass? You literally got what you deserved.
Nah, because you know what it
You
is.
could even got croaker fish
You know,
and got sea bass. Why didn't you get the grilled fish?
that's the only fish that was on the menu. I wanted fish. I didn't
fair.
want no
fair.
red meat. So I wanted fish. That was the only fish that was on the menu. So I ordered it.
Was it nice though when it came?
It was all right, but it took too long. By that point, I was being stubborn. And it wasn't like a restaurant. It was like a brunch.
Oh. Where was it? In Manchester?
Yeah. Some uncle
nice.
spot called Eagles.
That's some uncle's spot. Why have you assumed his uncle was Nigerian establishment?
If you see the uncles in
He was
there,
an
I
uncle, yeah.
wish I got my phone out so you can see some of these fits. These man, this was
Are you
Uncle
sure they're Nigerian?
Heaven.
Maybe they were like Congolese that were in the Nigerian restaurant.
Yeah.
Was the TVs around as well?
Big
Was there
Congolese
TVs
people.
in there?
There must have been TVs.
There would be because they was watching football.
Yeah,
Even when
100%.
football's not on, there could be like a YouTube of like football like back in the day.
There
They
might have
go
been,
one
but
day.
if you see
Either
some
that or
of
they're
these
arguing about politics. We're
These
talking about the
man-
government. Did you hear Tinubu? If you heard Tinubu, you're really in a Nigerian restaurant establishment.
the music was playing, so like I couldn't hear. But these man had elaborate fits on. I could just tell they're getting money. You get me? I don't know how they're getting it.
So
Don't know. Don't ask
that's
me.
what the girls are trying to tell you, man. Some of you young boys, some of you young lads gotta step it up. Not me though. But that's what the girls are saying. That's the word on road.
Yeah, so they were doing their thing. That was all right. Saturday. And then Sunday I went down to Liverpool
Nice.
to do pen game.
Lovely. Playing again national.
Yeah, get some of these northern MCs out. It was good, man. It
How
was
was it?
fun. It was all right to see different MCs and all that, different talent and that.
So when they rap, do they have the accent?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they all rap with accents. There was like some Scassers, some youths from Manny there, so they were going to be
Okay.
rapping their accents and thing. It was different. There was a mixed bag.
It's back.
It was a mixed bag. There's some talent up there though.
That's sick.
I'm not allowed to be biased, so I don't really I don't have any favourites or anything like that.
That's it.
Like, no, I'm not allowed to. I'm trying to be.
Yeah, but
I'm
then
gonna
you
be
don't-
biased.
You're
and
not a judge
impartial.
though, are you?
Nah,
Exactly. So even if you did have a bias,
that could influence people.
actually you can. And then if your bias wins, oof.
If I was always championing someone,
Yeah, it's a hard day in office, man.
It could
Yeah, it
influence
can
them.
influence people.
You know what I'm saying? So I try my best to
Stay out of it.
stay out of it. You get me?
That's good there.
Yeah, but that's gonna get harder. There's some girl up there that's really good, man.
Big up her.
She's cold.
Women in rap.
So you're going to start like a new competition, or is this like just finding the talent first and then starting the competition?
What, like a tournament?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do another tournament. The tournament's always been. Cause remember that one, like my first one. That was just the first. That was just the one. That was just the
Okay.
first one we done in the crowd.
Right, okay,
By that
cool.
point, I'm like, what? I'm like, that was like my fourth one. Maybe. So we'll do them. We'll do them all the time. I got a 2-on-2s coming up in October. So the 2-on-2 tournament in October 30th. I'm gonna start doing
That's
that.
in North,
shit.
yeah? Or back down? Like?
No, London.
Okay, cool.
Would you do like a London versus North?
Eventually,
That'd be fun.
once I build up the northern roster, but then I gotta go to Midlands. You get me? Black Country, Leicester, Nottingham, Birmingham, Coventry,
Yeah.
and build up that division
Sure.
and just get it all cracking.
Done.
I might have to go to Scotland or Ireland or one of these places. You never even know.
It's true, no? It's true.
There's all these territories there to be used, man.
Covered, man.
You get me?
Got a lot of work to do.
Everybody raps. There's a lot of talent in the country. You get me? So it's just about unearthing it and giving people opportunities to showcase themselves. You know what I'm saying?
True indeed.
So
Well done, man.
that's the journey. That's what we're doing. But it went well, man. It was
How much do I have to run you to have like a nice little opener for the live show? Something special.
What, me?
Sorry,
like-
you not the owner of Pen Game.
Oh, a battle, open battle.
Just a
little.
Just against the best.
Oh yeah. Cause
Her cousin
We can talk.
and Red.
we can line up. I'll make sure. Yeah, you know what? For real, I can make sure it's
Run that back.
sign
And
that
I'll
people.
prepare him. I'll prepare him. I'll make sure he's ready. I'll prepare him.
Make sure it's something people want to see. Yeah, man, we can make that happen, man.
All right, then. I have a clip to play, right? I want to ask a question to the men in the room.
Okay.
Oh, also, Esther. You know, if you,
I'm not an afterthought.
I was interested to hear what you told that dilemma yesterday. Was you in yesterday?
Of course I was.
Was it? Of
Well,
course.
not of course. Because I'm not here the next 2 days. It's not of course.
check this, right?
And I was very willing to let myself fade and give glory to her. You know, that's how I view our marriage in many ways. Like I'm very happy to take a secondary position to give glory to her. You know, I'm far less politically involved now than I was because she's much more politically involved than I ever could be. When I met her, she was this tour de force, you know, incredible mind, incredible beauty. I was so willing to just be enraptured to her.
Can you speak about a woman like that? Your partner? In public? And mean it.
I don't know. What kind of woman must
What
that
do you
be
mean
to make you
it?
feel like that?
He would definitely look to do that if it is he's gonna get some credit for
That's
it.
true, actually. You actually get your content back and
Compared to the crowd, and
yeah.
But you're saying, but mean it though, innit? It's different. That'd have to be. That'd have to be some woman though, because he's essentially saying like,
She is.
I'm done. Man.
That's
I don't.
his rib.
That's not even his rib. That's his everything.
loins.
That's his.
That's everything.
That's everything. He's saying she's got this. This woman here, like, I'm gonna fade to the back and let her do her because she's better than me.
What a man.
I suppose if you find that though, why not? If you find that and you feel that way, what's wrong? What's you cracked it, innit?
Manuel?
Yeah, I agree, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that.
Do you believe yourself?
You ain't never been in charges.
What? Of course.
As in,
Esther believes me.
As in, can you say it
Esther,
now?
What do you mean? I'm not a politician. I can't, you know.
Are you an
say
egg?
That's what you're asking me to say.
You're so ironic. Oh my gosh, you said it. I'm not a politician, but there you go with the lips of a politician. I said I'm not a politician, but he's bullshitting like a politician. It's the irony of it. You rap so much.
Oh man.
Your man would have to basically say something like that because you're in the spotlight and he isn't.
No, it's got nothing to do with being in the spotlight, Brent.
Hypothetically.
Because, obviously, it's kind of so dumb. I don't think I even have to be in the spotlight for all of that kind of talk. That's what I'm trying to hear when I walk down there. I'm walking down the aisle to, all right, yeah, we can get married if you like. Are you sick?
Are you sick?
You sick?
Are you sick?
But I feel that's how people should view their partners, though. I feel like that's, for me, like, I feel like that's what love is. That you should feel like I finally, like...
It looks nice.
Thank you, babes. I feel like I'm going to stick with this colour. I feel like I'm going to start doing braids in this colour. I'm really feeling this colour on me. Sorry, I divert. But I feel like that's what love should be like. When you find that person, it's like, wow. Like, and you're even glad that all the foolishness happened because it's like, I'm glad I got to this point. I feel like everyone should talk about their partners like that.
Fair.
So that's you. Your ideal partner when you find, are you looking to do the whole submit thing, or are you looking to do the modern woman equal thing? That's what I say. That to talk about a partner like that, you get to the point where you found this man and he's everything I needed. I don't even need to. Like, I'm just here. I'm so long for the ride now. This is perfect. This is great.
I don't think they're in conflict because what's submission and how you defining submission and how you defining modern? Because by the way that the world economy is, both, for the most part, most families, both partners have to work.
It's true.
So already, we're not in a traditional relationship.
Yeah.
Already, that's already modern. Do you get what I mean? But I have no problem. Like, I would be with someone that I trust. I'll be with someone that I trust with my life. I'll be with someone that I trust to make decisions for our household. I'll be someone that I can trust that he knows what he's talking about. But in the same way, he would trust me that I know what I'm doing. I'm doing the best for our home and for our family. Do you get what I mean? I feel like the submission talk isn't really, I don't think it's very relevant in today's culture. Certainly not in this society. I think people hold on to traditions from back home back then. But if in a household where both people are working, what does submission look like? And what is submission anyway?
Yeah, for real. So was it more like a he completes me thing? Without him, there's no me. That mindset.
Sorry, it's only without Jesus, there's no me, child.
Oh, see, that's what I was asking.
That's too far.
No, but that's just,
No, but I can't look at any human like that.
obviously
though.
that person didn't say that, but I'm saying that the way they're moving is what, like, you know what I'm trying to say. That the sentiments that they're giving
But
is
I would,
like,
yeah, but
this
I would
is.
have those sentiments though.
You say you want to have those sentiments.
Yeah, absolutely. This is my person. I've clocked it. This is the air I breathe. The wind beneath my wings. All of that. Cue up the music. That is, yeah. I feel like that's what love should be. Because love is really like being in a marriage, being in a relationship. Like that's a partnership. So you should really feel like, do you know what? Like this is my partner.
But this is what I was going to ask you. I want to know what you said about that dilemma yesterday. Can two people feel like that, or if when someone feels like that in a relationship,
someone likes person more.
when someone feels like that in a relationship, and that actually someone has that sentiment towards their partner, is it only one sided, or is there times when both people feel like that?
I think both people can feel like that. I'll tell you how I know, but both people can feel like that.
What do you reckon, Brent?
What's the question?
Like, can both people feel? So see how that guy feels. Can both people feel like that, or does it have to be just be like one person?
Because he's saying he's ready to fade to the back.
Yeah.
And they can't both fade.
But then that's
to
the thing.
back.
No, but they won't. I feel like if you speak to her, she might have the same. Like she might look at him with the same like awesomeness that he looks at her. But obviously, in reality, they're not both gonna fade to the back. But it's like if I had to, I would because you're just that great. So both people, I feel like both people can feel like that. And I think also as well, it's not literally because we both fade to the back. Who's at the front of the relationship? Well, Jesus can, but you know what I mean.
Let me give you some context. That is Candice Owens' husband.
Oh, lovely.
So she ain't fading to the back.
She ain't fading back. She couldn't find the back.
Yeah, he had to take his place.
Okay, so is he saying that because of how she makes him feel, or like saying that because of her position? Because she's, or is that why you brought up the whole spotlight thing?
Yeah, because he had intentions to be in politics and stuff, innit?
Okay, so he's
but then
taking
he
step
got
back
with her
from
and said, "Yo, my dreams are foolish. I need to."
I believe in that as well.
Grass
though.
is greener where you water it, kind of thing. Let's pour into her because she's the truth.
Okay, I believe in that, but I believe in turns though.
You know what? That's kind of grown though.
That is very grown.
On a political ambitions and that,
Yeah,
you're serious about it, and you're
And you
saying
gotta
no.
think who's got a better chance of making it?
You got to back the stronger horse, innit? You're saying like.
Yeah.
That's like if you was both wanted to do track and field and you go and you end up marrying Usain Bolt and then you say, you know what?
You got it, love.
You
You
got this.
It's all
You got
King.
this. I'm gonna support you because
Okay, that makes
you're
sense then.
fast.
I think that's nice.
Okay, well, that's maybe a bit different. That's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think that's nice. But I believe in turns in relationships though.
What do you mean in terms?
I think like sometimes the way life might work, you both might not be able to chase your dreams at the same time.
Okay.
So I might have to step back and let him do what he needs to do,
You
and
gotta
then
strike
he
while
will
the
then
iron's hot.
step back.
'Cause
and
sometimes
then-
you miss your time though.
Yeah, but obviously you would sit down like if like you know you're literally on the cusp of greatness and then you're coming to take a step back. Okay, that's not very smart, is it? But do you get me? But I feel like it's a conversation worth having. Where it's okay, realistically, like even that's something that you talk about as well in terms of opportunity. Say it's like a business idea and there's a gap in the market right now. If I take a step back, someone else might beat me to it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's conversations to be had, but I'm not opposed to stuff like that. I think it's important because again, I see that as a partnership. So I want to support my partner.
I know.
Love is good, man.
Big up love.
Big up love every single time. All right, should we get into your headlines?
All right, people. So our first set of headlines, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, has said that the government is managing the risk to public safety with its emergency measures to prevent prisons from overcrowding. Speaking during a trip to Belfast, the Prime Minister blamed the terrible inheritance from the Tory government and the recent far-right riots on his need to activate Operation Early Dawn. The long-standing contingency mechanism delays defendants from being summoned to a magistrate's court until a prison space becomes available. should they be remanded into custody. It was previously used by the Conservative government, and it allows defendants to be kept in prison cells, police cells, when prisons reach full capacity. Asked whether the plan posed a risk to public safety in respect of policing resources being diverted or more prisoners being bailed, Sayce Holmes said that the government was making really tough decisions and nobody wants to take them. He blamed this on the terrible inheritance of prisons that we had as an incoming government from the previous government. Next headline, trigger warning on this one, big trigger warning. And a woman has been killed in a knife attack in Manchester that also left a 17-year-old girl fighting for her life. A 64-year-old man is also seriously injured after the attack on Barnard Road in the Gorton area near Longside at around 11:20 p.m. last night. A 22-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Police rushed into the property on Barnard Road after receiving calls from members of the public. When officers arrived, they found a girl, 17, woman, 43, and a 64-year-old man who had all been stabbed. The 43-year-old woman died from her injuries at the scene.
That's sad.
Yeah, man. And our last headline, ministers have met to discuss the UK's preparedness to respond to mpox after the declaration of a global health emergency. So there's been more than 17,000 mpox cases and 571 deaths in Africa this year following the emergence of a new clade 1B variant first spotted in the DRC. It's been detected in neighbouring African countries and as far afield as Sweden and Pakistan, but no cases have yet been found in the UK. The World Health Organization announced last Wednesday that an outbreak of the strain was now a public health emergency of international concern. Pat McFadden, who's the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, met with ministers from the Department of Health, Foreign Office and the UK's Chief Medical Officer, Mr. Whitty, on Monday, and they met to ensure sufficient plans are in place to deal with any potential cases. This is what Down the Street said. And while the strain has not been detected in the UK so far, Professor Paul Hunter, who's an infectious disease expert, was speaking to Sky News, and he said it's very likely that someone in the UK already has it. So guys, be safe out there, man. And that's it for our headlines.
Thank you very much. Let's get into what you're saying typical of the day.
All right, people. So, firstly, I want to say trigger warning. So this is a big trigger warning. But if you don't mind putting on the thing on the screen. Today's topic of the day is based on the fact that black children are still far more likely to be strip searched in 2024, 4 times, in fact, right? And a lot of this information that I'm going to speak about is basically based on a report that was released yesterday by the Children's Commissioner, Dame Rachel D'Souza. And she basically, I think it's like a 56-page report, so you guys can basically go and check it out. Just Google it. And yeah, you can go into all the she goes into a lot of detail. But it's one of the main things that came about from this was the whole situation that we spoke about, I believe, was it last year when it first happened with Child Q? Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know, I'm just going to read part of a headline so that you guys can get up to date or just be refreshed in your memory. And basically, this is a child who was strip searched. Where is it? Sorry, guys, 1 second. A black child was subjected by police to a strip search at her London school that involved, again, trigger warning, exposure of intimate body parts. This is according to an official investigation, which found that racism was likely to have been an influencing factor in the officer's actions. So no appropriate adult was present during the 15-year-old girl's ordeal, described by a senior local authority figure as humiliating, traumatizing, utterly shocking, and which took place without any parental consent and in the knowledge that she was menstruating at the time. So details of her treatment in her secondary school's medical room have emerged in a child safeguarding review initiated by Hackney Council after the incident back in December 2020. So yeah, when this came back up in the news and we spoke about it, again, just reminding everybody, trigger warning, there's a lot of detail here. The child was made to bend over, to spread her legs, and to use her hands to spread her buttocks while coughing, and she's now in therapy and self-harming. This is according to family members, right, who gave statements to the inquiry when it was happening. The damning report also said that having considered the context of the incident, the views of those engaged in the review, and the impact felt by Child Q and her family, racism, whether deliberate or not, was likely to have been an influencing factor in the decision to undertake a strip search. The report emphasised the importance of the question of whether the child was treated differently because she was black, adding this line of inquiry. had been starkly reflected in several events that took place around the same time. So I was just reading that just so that everyone's kind of up to date. But I want to ask you guys, because according to the report, I believe it was the last report that was done anyway. I'll get the dates just so I can be more accurate with it. But at the time, it was black children are 6 times more likely to be strip searched. Now it's down to 4 times. Firstly, before we go any deeper, what's your thoughts on that? The fact that still today, black children, are strip searched 4 times more likely. They're more likely to be strip searched 4 times more.
I don't know, man. I don't know what my bandwidth set to this morning because for some reason.
Sorry, it's not funny, but it's when you said that.
No, because for some reason, when you said it, I just felt like fed up.
Yeah.
I just felt like stop and search. Like, are we still doing this? Are we still? I can't even lie to you. I'll be totally honest. Those are the feelings that started coming over to me as you've been talking. I'm thinking, fuck it. Obviously, it's an issue. It's always a thing. I don't know where we go and what we do with the stop and search issues. There's always going to be racial bias in people's thinking. There's racial biases in all workplaces. Everybody's subjected to it. The police ain't going to change. The Met's terrible. We've been reporting about how bad the Met is and stuff like that. So the change that we're looking for ain't going to come from within anyway. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so it just kind of just is what it is, man. I don't know. What did you say? It's gone from 6 times to 4 times?
4 times, yeah.
So it's getting better.
Little by little. But the problem is that black children are not seen as children. Like, black children are robbed of their innocence, and so they're adultified. And so when they are doing these things, they don't see them as children. Like, for some reason, when it comes to black people, we're not seen as innocent. We're not, despite these unconscious biases and stuff. Yeah, you might not call it racism or whatever, but it plays a part. Because when they see black kids, they don't see them as kids. They just, I don't even know what they see, but they don't see them as kids. Because even when you have like older Caucasian criminals, they seek to make them look innocent. Like the Lucy Letby situation. They were like, oh, this angelic, like, how could this angelic face do this? And da-da-da-da-da. But when it's black children, they just see them as adults. Black children never get to be just children. It's sad.
And for those who may not have seen the episode, remember when we had Janine on? Janine.
I was thinking about her this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Big up Janine, man. She basically spoke about all of this, innit?
Yeah.
I wasn't there, was I?
I think he was, you know.
Which one's Janine?
You were. Jamaican lady.
Yeah.
She had like brown hair.
Social work, speaks about the adultification of black children.
I'll show you a picture.
Yeah. I think he was there.
She's like a ras or something.
She what?
What's her hair like?
No,
It was natural hair, just
yeah.
in a puff. I'll show you, just you carry on. He's not going to remember.
Well, basically, she went into detail about this, right? And basically spoke about how the different ways this problem manifests itself in everyday life, innit? And also, I wanted to give a bit more information about that same situation. The reason why they even strip searched Child Q, black schoolgirl, 15 years old, is because she was wrongly accused of having drugs. 15 years old, they went to a school in Hackney. Wrongly accused of having drugs. No appropriate adult person in sight. Nothing.
Even that is wild.
Yeah.
Even that is wild. They could have held her until a parent came, a guardian came, somebody.
They break the rules all the time. I swear they're supposed to strip search you at the station, but they'll strip search you anywhere.
I said do this in school.
They'll do it. Like, they'll strip search.
I think
They'll
so.
park up on the side of the road and strip search you in the van.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
I said get in the van and get naked.
Yeah.
Perverts.
They strip searched me in my yard before, and I was mad.
Oh, you were inside your house?
And I wanted to go to the station. My brother was like, let's just get this over and done with, bro. Because they're saying they'll strip search. I said, nah, we know we ain't got nothing on us. They raided the yard. They never found what they were looking for. they're being dumb, saying, "Oh, we're gonna strip search us." One of them said, "Oh, we could do it here now, go out of the way." My brother's like, "Let's just get it done, so we can go about our business." And I'm saying, "Are you stupid? These men running my yard, got their fucking big boots all over my carpet, looking for something that ain't here, and now they want to strip search me naked in my bedroom. Like, are you man mad? I don't want to do this. Like, bullshit."
All right, so I have never seen a strip search before.
Yeah.
So, do they really strip you naked?
Yes.
You have to cover your private parts?
No, because what if the drugs in there?
So they lift your ball sacks and stuff?
They tell you to
They
do
tell
it.
you to do it, and then cough in that.
No, they said that's what they did.
Just like what they were describing things, or if you go to prison and stuff like that. Just it's a strip search. It's a fucking strip search.
I've never seen a strip search in prison.
You've heard one described. You watch Ali Sadiq. He explained it. What my man done to it. Actually, that wasn't.
Explain to me.
That wasn't on the special. That was a different cut. But sorry. Go on, anyway.
I'm just telling you what I haven't seen. To be honest,
Not seen. You
tell
don't
me
need to
what it is
see. You would have.
I'm lying about. But
No, I'm not to see. Obviously, why would you watch someone get strip searched? I'm saying, but you would have. Just like what E-Man just read the transcript. I'm saying you would have heard someone describing being stripped and searched before, or like in a prison setting or something. No, I'm just assuming. Sorry.
in my head, like they'd put you down to your boxers or your briefs,
Yeah.
and then if it's the cuff stuff, they'll just put down the back, and then you bend over. I didn't think it was completely off.
But let me surprise you with another one. So there's different tiers, right? So you've got the intimate search, right? So that's the most intrusive one. So what is that? That's the medical professional physically examines body orifices, right? That's how crazy it goes.
So
right?
you look into the holes and stuff.
Exactly. And that needs to happen only in custody, right? Then obviously under that you've got a strip search where searching officer removes clothing exposing the intimate parts and may physically contact the child using their own hands and whatnot, right? Yeah, and the search may be conducted as quickly as possible with regard for dignity. That's apparently what it says here. This is part of the report, by the way, that I'm reading out, that I'm telling you guys to, if you get a chance to look at. With regard to for dignity, sensitivity, and vulnerability, and minimize embarrassment by not requiring the child to remove all clothes at once. But it will happen, basically.
So take your bra off, put it back on. Take your pants off, put it back on.
Thank
Put your
you.
socks on.
Thank you.
Child, I'm still getting naked. Don't be silly.
Exactly. And this search must be conducted out of public view, but not in a police vehicle, right?
Okay.
for stop and search or in a custody suite, right? Who can do it? Frontline or custody officers. No more than 2 people may be present, and they must be the same sex as the child.
I was about to
that's
say
being
that.
searched.
Yeah. Because that's weird.
Also, an appropriate adult must be present, except for urgency due to risk of serious harm or if the child refuses.
Well, who's an appropriate adult though? Is that the parent or the guardian? Or just any other adult that is in the vicinity? Because you can have another police officer and talk about they're an appropriate adult. No.
I think it's somebody that's close to the person that the
person,
person feels comfortable
okay.
with. Yeah. Then under that, you've got the more thorough search, right? And that's just where searching officers remove any clothing than the outer layer, but not exposing any intimate parts. And that can be conducted at a public view or in a custody suite as well. Done by the frontline of custody officers, and appropriate adult must be present in custody as well, right? And then you've got the jog search, where searching officers may remove a jacket, outer clothes or gloves, hence the jacket, outer coat, or gloves, hence the JOG, and may put hands inside shoes, socks, pockets, collars, and hair and headgear. And this can be conducted in public view or in a custody suite as well. That's basically what they'll be doing, man. So in this report, like I said, came out yesterday. Almost 9 in 10 were carried out on suspicion of drugs. So this is the main reason why they're doing these searches, apparently, yeah. With 6% carried out on suspicion of carrying weapons or blades. So you see where you hear Nigel Farage talking about black on black crime, and this is why they need to do it in these areas and all this sort of stuff. This disparity is occurring even outside of that. They're basically not just looking at black people as potential killers. They're looking at black children as drugs carriers and all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Drug dealers. Almost half of all searches resulted in no further action. So 50% of these didn't need to happen at all, right? Which is obviously, as the article says, calling into question their necessity as well. The proportion of searches conducted involving a child aged 15 or younger increased to 28% between July 2023 and June of 2024, compared to 23% in the previous year. So overall, it's come down, it seems, for black children. But the amount of children that has been affected, as in the younger children, 15 and younger, has increased. And obviously, like I'm about to mention, racial disparity also continued, with black children 4 times more likely to be strip searched between 2022 and 2023 compared to national figures. This is down 6 times more likely from 2018 to 2022. So yeah, man. The report also found that police forces were twice as likely to routinely record additional characteristics of vulnerability, such as whether a child is in care, has a medical condition, or is a victim of sexual exploitation, for searches in custody compared to searches under stop and search. So, yeah.
I used to get stopped like at least 5 times a day.
This is ridiculous.
Easy.
Ridiculous.
It's like a light day.
That's crazy, man.
What's crazy about what he said?
What, getting stopped 5 times a day?
Why did you say that was crazy? I can understand why you're saying it.
It's an inconvenience, man.
No, I'm not doing anything though.
Can you imagine?
Wait,
This guy.
wait a minute.
Listen,
Don't
Marx
go
is
on
an
as though.
upstanding civilian.
Do not go on as though your lived experience is different than is not different than my lived experience or his lived experience, right?
Yep.
The reason as to why it is that you were on their radar is because of what?
Because I was a black youth.
Thank
Or
you.
is it?
Because he's a black man.
They're not.
You have to be serious about this
I'm
conversation.
being dead serious. What about when we're traveling? These police don't know, man. These police don't know, man. If it was police from our local area that was onto us, and because we've got reputations and stuff like that, then all right, cool. That will speak to what you're saying. When we go to places people don't know us, they just see young black youths and just bother, man. They don't know, man. So it doesn't matter what was doing or what my reputation. They don't know, man. The officers don't know, man. They just see little black kids and just want to bother them. So on days when I'm not doing nothing, if I'm going through South London, I'm not doing nothing, and they want to jump on me because I'm just a young black youth, what's that got to do with anything? They don't know who I am.
I think that's a different thing you're saying now, or I'm interpreting it differently. I thought you meant that the police that knew you
No.
and knew your crew, they knew your face, your picture got circulated. Anytime it means that you're anywhere,
They would come and bother
they
us.
will come and basically check to see, okay, what are you doing here?
The
Are
ones
you
that-
here for trouble?
No, the ones that know us, the ones that work in the local area, after a while, you don't really have that much interaction with them. It's long. You get me? Especially like the top levels of sergeant and them like that. They know not to bother us. They know if they see us and we don't run, they ain't got nothing.
Obviously, I
You
didn't
get what
frequent-
I'm saying?
I
So-
didn't frequent the places you all frequented. How many times have you been stopped and searched?
Not many, to be fair.
You lived in the same borough as him.
Yeah.
So how come your experiences were different?
No, because I left at a certain age as well, innit? So when I was younger, which is crazy, that it happens, like you get stopped, searched from when you're young, you know? Now that I think, I'm not thought about this for ages.
Do you need a moment?
No, come
Is
on.
it triggering?
This guy. See, you're walking. See this? Esty, see the misandry?
It's a black man on black man crime. I'm not involved.
I'm being mishandled right now.
I'm mishandled. What the hell?
No, I'm just thinking about it because obviously, you know, you just kind of just forget about these things, innit? Yeah, what's the question?
No, that's
Like,
all right. That's all right, bro.
This guy is annoying. This guy.
Because obviously, as like what you're saying, if we're in the community and we're involved in certain things, we do certain things, the police are going to want to keep tabs on us. And if you've got reputations for certain things, they're going to want to stop and search you and check you and whatnot. So I get where you're coming from, Brent. But I'm talking about days where we're going about our business and we're traveling, and like we can't go nowhere. And this ain't police that know us. You get what I'm trying to say? Like we just can't go nowhere and get to the point when like later on in the day we're getting stopped. It's like, brother, this is the 5th time I've been stopped.
Today.
I ain't been arrested for once for
The
nothing.
same
I've even
day.
got slips and papers on me. Like allow me. Like leave me alone. Like
That's what your
you
friend
get what I'm trying to
earlier.
say? Like leave me alone, brother. Like ain't there like some kind of system here? Like communicating. You're communicating with each other. Like why are you not bothering me like this for? Like allow me. Like, and when you're not doing nothing, it is annoying. Like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, obviously, they got to find a way to police the world and look after the community. And when there's things going on, people are selling drugs, whatever. And I get that. But it's like, I don't know, because obviously I'm not involved in that kind of thing. I'm not involved in that in that stuff no more, so I'm not getting bothered by police. At the time when man was going through it, 17, 18, early 2000s, mid 2000s, Trident, the stuff, the gang war, like when it was rife and stop and search and stuff was like serious. I lived through it from experience getting bothered by police all day, every day.
I don't know how honest I can get in this conversation, right? Obviously, it was inconvenient for you.
Yeah.
Why was it inconvenient? What does it mean?
I don't know. What's so bad about being stopped and searched? You see, listen, yeah? You see, like, it's like cat and mouse, isn't it, yeah? So, like, when you're playing a game, you're playing it, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if I'm getting stopped and searched and I've got stuff on me, or if I'm out and I'm doing stuff or whatever, it's like a cat and mouse, isn't it? Cops and robbers thing. I'm trying to get past, you get slipped through the net and whatnot. So all those times, it doesn't really bother me. I don't mind. This is the game, innit? Like, this is what I'm doing. Hopefully I get away, don't get caught by these motherfuckers. Whatnot, which is cool. But what about the days when I'm being a normal civilian, when I'm not doing nothing? And again, and it's not officers that I have a relationship with or that I know or whatever. This is just total straight. This is just any police. All police just look at you like this. They see me in my tracksuit and they just want to stop me and bother me, but I'm not doing nothing. After a while, it is. I don't even know. What's the feeling? I don't know what it's long because you got me on the side. You got me on the side of the street. You pulling me up on the side of the street. Sometimes on the high road, people that walk, thinking past, driving past, looking at you and registered to tear, looking at me like I'm some kind of criminal. I ain't done anything. You just got me on the street. Sometimes whether you don't want to do with me nice, if you was on a rough man up, got man on the floor, handcuffed up, this, that, You're just dealing with man like man or some riffraff. And man ain't done nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? That because this is multiple times now you are doing it. And it's like, what are we doing it? You don't want to search me. You don't want to rough me up. You don't want to bad me up. You don't want to talk to me like I ain't shit. And I ain't done nothing. I don't even know you lot. Like I don't know you people. Like and then you start using the thing. There's people being raped and murdered outside now, and you're gonna come and bother me. Like go and do your job. Do your job. I ain't paying taxes, but if I did, I'll be going crazy.
All right.
You're wasting people's money.
So there are people being murdered, go and do your job, right?
Yeah.
You could be asking them to stave off inconveniencing you and going to basically catch a you. That's what you're saying.
No.
Make it make sense to me then.
I wasn't out here committing murders or doing nothing heinous. I wasn't doing nothing. Go and get the people that are terrorizing communities. Look, there's people that are really terrorizing communities. You get me?
Yeah.
You don't need to go and deal with
them. Definitely like you. Definitely you and your boys.
And a lot of them ain't black, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh man,
they're getting away with it. But it's a big inconvenience, and always, I don't know. Like, when do you feel like it stopped for you though?
When did I stop my interaction with the police?
Yeah, like being like stopped, like driving, walking.
What are we in now? 24. What was 2014 give us? I would say like I've been on a good run like the last 10 years, really. I ain't really mixed with them. Moving out of the area and stuff probably helped and that. But then even now though, when I go in different areas, I go through, if I go in South London, West London, North London, I see police, like, they're not bothering me the same way like it used to be. Like my interactions with police is minimal. Like they don't bother me. Like I don't interact with them. I don't talk to them. I don't have to talk to these people for nothing. You get me? I'm not getting stopped for nothing. I'm not getting bothered. I know I'm getting older, but at the same time, I still present young. When I'm walking around in my tracksuits and that, they don't know. How they're gonna know that I'm a granddad. Do you get what I'm saying? Like so, I don't. So yeah, but I just don't. I'm lucky. Even when people talk to me that they're getting stopped, I'll be like, you still get stopped. Last time I got stopped was in COVID. It was in lockdown. That's where I was going. I told them I'm going to the supermarket.
Okay.
I was lying.
Allegedly.
You're a rebel without a cause. You just.
You are just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Because I'm thinking about it, I'm just thinking like you just kind of forget that you got stopped. Like
it used to be a proper part of man's life. Like I used like every day interaction with the police. If I step outside, I'm gonna interact with the police. Like as sure as the sun's gonna rise.
Yeah.
Like literally, bro. And yeah, it just stopped. I don't. I don't know what happened or what changed. I think, like I said, I think moving out of my area was a big, massive part of that. You get me? Because they're not having interactions with the police and not being on their radar and rest of the time. When you're doing stuff and you're doing crime and like, this is their job to catch you like, every day. Like, so certainly, man, like you wonder why you're getting bothered every day. Your name was in the morning briefing. Like when everybody got into work in the morning, they sat down. Obviously, they done their morning briefing just to talk about what the remit is for the day. Your name came up. They said, if you see Donny, get him. Like, did you get what I'm saying? So man's name ain't in briefings no more and things. I ain't got no business. I don't have no dealings with police. I actually love it. Because even now I'm getting to the point where like, even if I did have dealings with police and I see some of them and it's like, it's undercover. You're 22. Like, you hey, listen, mind how you're talking to me. I'm a big man for you. You idiot. You start talking to boy them like that, it's cold. Young boys just out of uni with their badges and things, thinking they're doing anything. Mind how you're talking to me, you know. It's just wicked them up. You couldn't do that when you was young, but you can do it now as a big man, you get me?
That's so funny.
For real. All right, man. I guess we can kind of wrap up here, but before we do, I want to ask you guys. Obviously, like we said earlier, it's gone down from 6 times more likely to 4 times more likely. Are we going to get it equally at some point? Do you guys have that hope?
No, not in the city areas because crime and stuff's still going on, and the man are taking part in it. So even if statistically, especially in like those areas, if you are the main culprits, then you are going to be the main recipients of the stop and searches. In the city areas, there's not that much representation or not like that. So then if you're from our demographic and you go out and you get seen, you stand out like a sore thumb, you're more than likely going to be targeted again. So I don't really see it going down like that. Maybe a little bit more, but...
Okay. Start, Brent?
I don't think it will be like equal level playing field because again, there's still with a lot of stop and searches and stuff. There's still a bias that plays there, so I don't think it will be equal playing field because that means that we're living in a society of equality, and I don't see that happening. But I think it will continue to decrease there because there's work being done for it to be decreased. I think it will continue to decrease, but I don't think it will ever be like a same number as like white kids or Asian kids and stuff like that.
I don't want to be like, I don't want to start no trouble in it. But why do you think it is, that there is a real problem with the identification of black kids? The reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like it's linked to the whole, for example, black women 4 times more likely to die during labour and whatnot. Because obviously they see black people in a particular way.
Yeah.
So I feel like this goes across the board in all areas of life. Yeah. Why do you think you see... Why do you look at black people and think you see people who, I don't know, who don't feel or are more, or who are bigger and stronger than they are? And I don't know, like, I don't want to say what I'm reaching for, but in you guys' mind, what do you think is behind that?
It's racism.
Why they see black people the way they do?
Yeah, it's racism because it's the same way why they thought that they could be... We were like the social experiments for operations.
Yeah, it's just propaganda.
Stuff.
It's just propaganda.
Yeah, and I'm not feeling like we needed anesthetics and stuff.
We've had terrible PR from the beginning of the time. Yeah. So the reasons why black people are seen how they are and the racial bias that they have towards us is because of the stuff that's perpetuated through like the media and all the mediums like film and all this. And
it goes down to slavery. Because when you think about slavery, they were like, oh, they're the strongest people to use for labor and stuff. So we're just not seen. We're literally just seen as. Like, they don't see us as we feel anything. Yeah,
but it's seen from everything. Obviously everything starts from slavery. Who says that? Everything does start with slavery. To be totally fair. And then you take it after slavery, and then you go and you get into like segregation, and then making man criminals and just everything. So then all the stereotypes and stuff that are reinforced through film and through music and promoting all gangster rappers and the image of the black man or the black person has been cultivated over time. It's exactly how it's supposed to be if you look at that was the point of it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if you just look at what's done and how it's seen. Can't change it.
What about you, Brent?
Question, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
So obviously you've been seeing like the rise in like knife attacks and knife fights and stuff, innit? Just young people walking around with knives. When I say knives, I'm not talking about the ones that can just fit in your pocket.
Or a samurai.
Yeah.
Samurai Jack flow.
What do you think the answer to that is? How do you bring those numbers down?
I think there's many different ways, but I think some of that stuff is just dealing with stuff at the root, man. So basically going to the communities and making children feel like there's a way, another way basically to live. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of this stuff is just based on impoverished communities, idleness, no fathers being around. Certain things that's been there and just repeats itself every generation. You know what I'm saying? But again, we've got an amazing guest coming in today. And I think what he's doing, in fact, I can say who's coming. Big up Sayce, he's on his way.
I was gonna say it's in the title.
Is it there? No, yeah.
No.
Anyway, so like what he's doing is basically a solution to that. Because a lot of kids, yeah, that would have, I guess, a youth club and places to congregate and actually put their skills to better use and their time to better use, could be able to do that. But when a lot of that's been taken away, there's other things that you're pulled in, other directions that you're pulled in. So there's a lot of that.
All right, so there's
many different things though.
There are strategies for long-term solutions, right? But arresting the current chaos, how do you do that? Because I don't even know how they put it in their trousers.
Yeah.
When they whip it out,
I don't know how they walk, you know.
how do they do it, Mugs?
With what, sorry?
How do they fit those long things in their trousers?
What long things?
The machetes.
The battens.
It didn't got a name.
You talk about the
No.
police?
It's my kids.
No, talk about the kids that
young
carry
kids.
knives and stuff. But you know them zigzag, crazy long.
Zombie knives and stuff.
That's it.
Are you asking how you can fit a sword down your pant leg?
Yeah.
Yes, and more.
Yeah, are you acting like it's a silly question?
Yeah.
How you walk with it?
It's the length of your leg.
So
Yeah,
do
but
you,
isn't
do
it
you
cutty?
hold it like that? Is there a sheath inside?
Like, is it like
Is it sheathed? Probably not. Some man's things might be sheathed still. Some man's, but
What's
probably
the
not.
sheath? What's that?
So
Like in cold, like in a case, so you can.
That's what I thought. I thought maybe. But I just thought if you're under attack, doing all of this is giving some right. Like it's giving
no,
movie.
not like that. But let's just say there is a. You know how some
Or like a
women
little padding.
wear those beads
What
under
beads?
their clothes and whatnot.
Waist beads.
Yeah, the sexy ones. So
What kind of waist beads are there?
I know that there are like those gold ones that kind of go all around your body, and then there's those ones with beads that go around your waist and stuff.
Oh, here's about the sexy ones. The
I
nighttime
did say
ones.
sexy ones. I did say that.
Yeah, but when you say sexy ones, it's not waist beads. And are you talking about the gold chain is the sexy one? Which one is sexy
Both
to
of
you?
them are sexy to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
But in
yeah.
this context, which one is sexy out to you?
Let's focus on the guys. So let's just say he's got like a belt that he puts on his naked body.
Okay.
And it has like a
Oh, it's got like a little
a
pocket
sheath.
there.
Yeah,
He's just in it.
And then when it is you put your joggers on, then you put the knife in the sheath.
I'll be honest with you, that's how you got
So
your
you
dick off.
can walk freely without having to put your hand by your pant on a pant line whilst you're walking, right? Because if you don't
That's
have
true,
one of those
actually,
things,
'cause
how do
it's
you
just-
keep it up?
So it's just swinging loose.
That's why I asked
Knife.
you, because young girls, what do young girls do?
They must have like little paper cuts. You know paper cuts? But they must have like knife cuts. Your legs can't be smooth. You can't have smooth skin with that.
It's probably just tie them to something or just grip it up on the, just rest up on the waist, isn't it? In the waistband.
But it's heavy.
You know, people.
Let me get back to my question, because I we've just.
No, I get the question because I'm just as like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to find
So
out.
I'm saying, how do we arrest that? Because you still, at any point in time, whether it's black, white, Asian youths, they might have this thing in their thing walking around and you would never know, right? Because they're walking like it's normal.
Yeah.
So without the stopping and searching, and I'm not just talking about black kids,
Okay. Yeah.
how do you basically get that done?
I think part of it is just going to be there, innit? Because that's just how it is. There's always going to be conflict among people from, you know, different groups and whatnot, innit? But I think a big part of stopping it would be people within the community taking a role, you know what I'm saying, and mentoring the kids and speaking to them and trying to get them out of that life, you know what I'm saying? And even speaking to other areas and trying to get people to come together, you know what I'm saying?
So I hear you on a type of young person that would, you know, be open to that. How
Yeah.
about
This
a
is
mad?
it.
No, but some people, that's what I said, some people ain't going to be open to it. It's just part and parcel of how life is.
And that's what I'm saying.
Unfortunately.
They ain't gonna be able to what?
Because remember when
To,
For that reason.
you remember when Lillian was here, yeah? And she was talking about like she would work with the kids, yeah, but then the things that's going on with the kids is way beyond whatever it is that she's working on, talking to them. Even Kay said it, like they've got stuff to do with that stuff that's going on at home and other things. That it's so much more deeper than what you as a mentor will do. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some things are just, it's going to be there, innit, unfortunately. But with time, you chip into it.
but how though? Because if we're gonna accept that it's gonna be there, are we doing something while we're accepting that it's there?
No, but it's kind of like you believing there's going to be racism, right? But we still kind of make efforts to try and,
Let's speak out
you
against
know what I
that
mean,
stuff.
to get rid of it. Bit by bit, bit by bit.
Crazy, man.
You know what I mean?
Why are you
man.
laughing over there?
There's the chat. It's so silly.
What happened?
Long things in the trousers is such a bud up.
No, we try to have very serious conversations here. Like, we actually try to do like very
Brent, I
serious
thought you was the
things.
grown one, man.
And then you have people that randomly just tuned in for this moment, like, oh, ban all mics. No. No. Anyway.
But yeah, man, I guess we can wrap it up there.
Right.
Let's get into the next headlines.
All right, people. So, jailed former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has applied to become the next Chancellor of Britain's prestigious University of Oxford. This is what his party has said, right? He's jailed, by the way, yeah? So the Oxford alumni formally submitted the request via Saeed Zulfikar Bukhari, who is the London-based spokesperson for Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, PTI, that's the name of his party, and he said this on X. So they posted on Sunday saying, despite being unlawfully incarcerated for over a year, Khan remains committed to the principles and the causes he champions. Speaking to the AFP news agency, Bukhari said that Imran Khan had given instructions that he would like to submit his application, and now the application scrutiny will take place. It is a ceremonial post, but one with utmost prestige and importance, and Imran Khan being one of the larger and more popular names coming out of Oxford, it'll be brilliant to see him as a chancellor. Next headline, and a Christian pro-life activist has been awarded £13,000 from police after she was arrested twice for silently praying outside of an abortion clinic in Birmingham. Isabel Vaughan Spruce, who's the director of the anti-abortion march for Life UK group, successfully forced a payout from the West Midlands police after she accused the force of violating her human rights, wrongful arrest and assault and battery over an intrusive search during one of her arrests. The Christian anti-abortion activist was first arrested in November of 2022 for silently praying in a so-called buffer zone, an area surrounding an abortion clinic around which local authorities instituted a public spaces protection order prohibiting protests and expression of any approval or disapproval with respect to issues related to an abortion service by any means. And our last headline, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Monday that Israel had accepted a proposal to bridge and hostage release in Gaza, and he called on Hamas to do the same without saying whether concerns cited by the militant group had been addressed. The high-stakes negotiations have gained urgency in recent days as diplomats hope an agreement will deter Iran and Lebanon's Hezbollah from avenging the targeted killings of two top militants that were blamed on Israel. The escalating tensions have raised fear. Blinken spoke after holding a 2.5-hour meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu earlier in the day and will travel to Egypt and Qatar for further negotiations. The three mediators have spent months trying to end with the talks repeatedly stalling. In a very constructive meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu today, he confirmed to me that Israel supports the bridging proposal. This is what Blinken said to reporters without saying what the proposal entails. He then went on to say that the next important step is for Hamas to say yes. And that's it for the headlines. It's time to pay them bills.
Okay, let's get in some word and road.
On the way out.
All right, so I'm not really... Well, today is like more TV film type word on road. I'm here for it. But the first one is quite sad, but also good to raise awareness about. So, Boy Meets World, you guys remember? Topanga. Danielle Fishel, sorry. How you not remember Topanga?
I can't remember.
She's like the only girl in there. How can you not remember Topanga?
That was the crush, man.
That was a crush.
Mm-hmm. He
You know
remembers.
Topanga, man. She still looks the same today.
Oh yeah, that one.
Gosh, can't get the staff. Anyways, so she's got a podcast actually. It's called Pod Meets World. That's quite cute. And it's with two of the other actors. I'm too lazy to Google who they are. So anyway, so she was talking on the podcast and she revealed that she's been diagnosed with breast cancer. She's 43 years old. 43 and she still looks literally how she looked when she was a kid. It's crazy, good genes. But she on a podcast she shared, I was recently diagnosed with DCIS, which stands for ductal. I don't know how doctors do this. I'm trying to figure out who are those two?
She's.
Oh, is that thingy? You know I can't see far. Is it Max Master? Is it what's it called?
I don't think it is.
The best friend, Corey's best friend. What's his name again? Sean.
I don't know. I haven't followed his career.
Yeah, I don't know who they are. I don't know. Maybe they must be executive producers or something. I don't think they were on screen.
You said they're the co-hosts, isn't it?
Yeah, they're the co-hosts, but they're meant to be part of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know what role they played in Boy Meets World. Do you know them?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so she says she was diagnosed with DCIS, which stands for ductal carcinoma in situ, which is a form of breast cancer. She said it's very, very early. It's technically stage 0. And she says that she's had to make a lot of decisions over the last couple of days. Essentially, she said she was going to deal with it privately, just tell her closest family and friends, her immediate family and friends, and no one else. And she had this thing of, I'm just going to suffer in silence and just suck it up. And when she's beat it, she'll let everyone else know. But then she said she was reading a book by Glennon Doyle, who basically talked about how women need to help others in the beginning or during the messy middle of a battle, as opposed to waiting until they're out of the experience. And so she decided to share it. But also what I like is that she's basically raising awareness for people to go and get checked. So if you've got mammogram coming up, any checks, men with the prostate with the prostate checks, please go and do that. She said the reason why they found it so early was because she got a reminder text and she just decided then she was going to book it. So had she put it off, obviously it would have gotten worse. So she said she's going to be fine because they found it so early, and she's sharing this to encourage anyone to get in there. She said if it's time for your appointment, if you've never had an appointment before, get in there. If you have to find out that you have cancer, find out when it's at stage 0 if possible. Yeah, man, I thought that was really good, man. So big up her, love and lights and all that stuff. But definitely get your body checks done. Health MOTs, very important. For the women, I said men can get breast cancer as well, though. I think so.
I think it's super, super rare, though.
I think, yeah, super rare, but
think
still
it's
check your
possible.
breast for lumps and stuff, men and women. And obviously with men as well, the prostate situation, get that checked as well. It's just very, very important, man. Sometimes a lot of these things, and I think, hate to say it, but I feel like with the black community, we don't necessarily take our health seriously like that. Like, we really put things off. I'm like, oh, we'll check at some point, or, oh, it's just this, or it's just, oh, da, da, da. Like, but then sometimes these things can be really, really bad. And unfortunately, there's been cases I know personally where they found the cancer at stage 4, and then now it's just like, oh, now it's just a waiting game. So please, please, please go and get these things checked. Ladies, if you've got your smear test coming up, I think I've got one coming up actually, to contact them. Yeah, get that checked and get that done. Take care of your health. It's very, very important. So I watch Abbott Elementary. Whenever Abbott Elementary is in the news, I will always have time for it. So Tyler James Williams, he plays the role of Gregory. So he's a teacher, but he's got slight autism, I reckon. Is it autism, Brent, or is it ADHD? It's autism, isn't it?
Who has?
Gregory.
Who's
From
Gregory?
Abbott.
Abbott
Elementary.
Who's Gregory?
With the guy, everybody hates Chris.
That's a black guy.
Yes.
Does he have autism? Yes.
His role does, isn't it? Because he's very so say for example there's a poster. Everyone's walked through the classroom, he will go back and then just
Oh no,
7.001.
that's what Imran has.
OCD.
Yes,
Okay.
This guy.
that's what you do have.
I ain't got no OCD, man.
Wait
How'd
a
you know?
minute.
I just like neat things, that's all.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
it.
okay. Sign 1. Okay. But so basically, he's on Abbott Elementary. He's one of the main characters in there. If you haven't watched Abbott Elementary, Please do. Like, it's one of the best sitcoms that's come out of our day and age. It's just amazing.
Yes, it's nice.
It's absolutely amazing. So basically, right, he was talking about there's a new season coming up, and he was talking about like someone he would like to see guest star, and he talked about Solange. So do you remember? Brent, do you mind putting up Orlando Jones, please?
Yes.
And he plays his dad in there. They look alike. It's crazy. They're not related in real life, but they actually really look alike. But he was talking about he thinks Solange should play like his cousin or something because he and Solange actually look alike as well. And they do. Look at that.
Oh, they do.
So in the show, he plays Gregory's dad.
Yeah, he looks like him.
He probably looks like him. So he was like, he thinks Solange should enter the chat and she could be like a cousin or something, like another relative. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I don't know how. I find things like that so interesting when people are not related at all, just to look like each other. But he was like, I would love to see Solange as a cousin. I feel like we look alike. It's like us, and then my dad is Orlando. And she said she thinks that she would be a great family member on there. But what I really like as well is that he talked about how his role, I mean, I've talked about his story because he did an exclusive interview with, I can't remember who it was, but he talked about the role of Gregory and how around the time it came, I think, what's her name? Is it Janine? It is Janine. No, Janine is her character. Quinta Brunson. That's it. So basically, I think she was basically pitching the show or writing the show around that kind of like around lockdown, and she was getting advice from him, and they were just friends, and he was just helping her, whatever. And then she was like, when I get this commission or whatever, will you be on the show? Like, I've written a role for you. And he just thought she was just saying it. People say stuff. And then she actually wrote a role specifically for him, and it's just perfect for him. So he talked about that and just what blessing that was, and where like the season he was in his life at the time, and not knowing what was next. But then the whole time he was praying to God to show him what would be next. There was a whole meeting and someone writing a whole script about him in mind, and he had no clue. Beautiful testimony. But anyways, he says that for him, that role, he takes the role very seriously because his goal is to show black male educators and black men in general in a certain light. And he said the overall goal for me here is to show not only black male educators in a certain light, but then also black men in a certain light that are allowed to be emotional and have full emotional spectrums, and then also be in love. So he and Quinta's character, Janine, have like a little love story thing going on. It's quite cute. And I said, it's one of the most important things I've ever done in my career is showing this, especially with the platform we have. It's absolutely brilliant, man. I love Abbott. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do. It's good stuff. And also, in Black Excellence, Michaela Cole. She's got a new show.
You're up to date with Abbott, aren't you?
I believe so.
What was the last scene? What happened?
Oh, am I going to remember that? No, remember I was on my retreat. I was on my sabbatical.
So you see the lips?
Actually, no, I don't think I'm caught up.
There
When's
you
the
go,
last one
I've just
come? When
spoiled
did the last
it for
one come up?
Huh?
When did the last one come out?
It's time ago. Like when I say time, it's like...
Was it before my sabbatical?
I'm not trying to forget that, to be honest.
But you can tell me though, like you can't ruin it. Did you say I missed that?
I'm trying to forget that, to be honest with you.
Because you miss me so much.
Dark times.
Because you miss me so much.
Definitely.
You only text me twice there. I'm joking.
I was supposed to not text you. What are you talking about? I was supposed
Imagine
to
you could text me though.
interrupt your piece.
No, you could have texted me. I said you couldn't text me. You couldn't text me about business situations. If I'm not here, I don't want to hear about nothing that's going on here. If I'm not at work, you text me about work. What the hell do you think this is? But what was it then? Go and tell me. You can't spoil it.
The lips, man.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
But then didn't start acting all awkward after that? Because remember that she then said, "Oh, can we?" Like, do you remember?
That was the last episode.
Oh my gosh! Remember she moved
No,
to
it wasn't
him.
last episode. It wasn't last episode.
Because
it
they
was
did that.
last episode.
It was, wasn't it? Because they did that, and then she was just like, and then what's her name?
She threw the party.
The principal was in the security room laughing at the clip of when he told Janine no.
Yeah. No, you're not up to date.
I'm not up to date then.
You're not up to date.
Did they go back together? Oh, I love that.
I hope I'm not convicted things.
I think you might be, I think you're thinking about the previous season when they kissed in the garden.
No. It's in her house.
In her house?
She threw a party. Yeah.
Little fast girl. I'm going to check out. I'm back to watching stuff
You're
now.
not up to date, and I'm just giving you a spoiler. Sorry about that.
No, but it's not a spoiler though. Like, you can't spoil. I've rewatched it a few times.
All right, okay.
But no. But Michaela Cole, man. Michaela Cole is going to create... So Michaela Cole is from the show back in the day with chewing gum. She's got that iconic scene that's been a meme so many times. She's dancing with that white man. Remember?
Jokes.
She's too funny. She's just so funny. And then she had I May Destroy You, which she won. What did she win for that? She won something for that. An award for it.
Is that the one that made everyone start saying gaslighting?
No, people grew. People came to understand life, and then gaslighting came into the chat.
I'm just asking you. Is that the show? You know what I'm talking about? Is that the show?
I don't think that's the show that make people say gaslighting. People were saying gaslighting before I May Destroy You.
Okay.
I never watched it. I never watched it. I'd be saying gaslighting.
That's the one where my man took the condom off on her and thing.
No, it's not gaslighting. It's
That's the stealthing.
It's stealthing.
Look, you're getting it wrong.
Yeah,
Okay, getting all the psychologists words wrong.
No, that's the show I'm talking about. That's the show we're talking about, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So that show, I never watched it actually, but I didn't watch it not because I don't like mechanical, but I avoid things that would trigger me and that I just protect my peace. Is the name for it. But yeah, so she has a new show and it's with BBC and HBO. Absolutely love it. I'm really proud of her. It's called First Day on Earth, and she's gonna be playing a character called Henry, who is a British novelist who finds herself at a personal and professional impasse after she takes a job working on a film in her parents'. And you know when articles tell you there's a new show and they go and tell you what the show's about. So when I watch it now, there's no element of surprise because I know that this is what she's doing. Anyways.
You supposed to know what the show's about.
Sorry?
Surely you're supposed to know what the show's about.
I don't think so. I like to find out what the show's about. I didn't know what Supercell was about until people watched it and then they started telling me on Twitter. Because I feel like if I see the description of a show and you're telling me
Was
the
you
whole
aware that
storyline.
Supercell was coming, though?
No.
That's why.
Was I, actually?
If you're looking forward to a show and it's coming, you're supposed to surely you
Supposed
know
to know
what it's about. That's why you look forward to it, innit?
You think?
You say you just want the surprise.
I love the surprise.
So how do you decide if you watch a new show?
So sometimes
Just
it'll
like
be the people that's in there.
Okay, yeah, there's that.
People that's in there, if the title is intriguing to me, also the quality of it. I don't like things. That's why I can't watch Game of Thrones.
What? Wait, what?
I don't like things that's set in like...
Wait.
No, yeah. Let me land the point.
Yeah, we're gonna stick here for a bit.
I'm like, yeah. you know my shy. I don't like things that are like set in like ye old days. Like I don't like things that's like a throwback and it's like back in the day and then because you know what it is, because obviously the quality is good, yeah, but they set it as in like a black and white type quality. Ugh, can't do it.
That's not Game of Thrones, 100%.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones gives me that because they're fighting with chariots.
But
and
you
stuff.
love Bridgerton.
Sorry.
Fiery chariots.
Yeah, it's a chariot.
Fighting with
Like
chariots.
chariots and spears and stuff. That's old. That's Bible. That's King James version.
You know what she means, though.
You know what I mean, man?
Like they're not chariots. But
Do you know the joke? I don't know what chariots are.
they're on horseback, though.
I don't know what chariots are. That's an absolute joke. I just start reading the Bible and I just assume what I think a chariot is and I just go. In my mind, a chariot is something clearly different to what it is in reality.
Bridgerton is a period drama.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't watch Bridgerton for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like, old Britain, like, I just can't. But then I heard the tea. I think I watched the first episode. I thought, no, I've tried to watch it like 4 times. This is my 4th try that I actually stuck to it. And I thought, okay, let me see then. And then I stuck to it.
All right.
I reckon I'll watch Game of Thrones at some point.
Okay.
Just not now, in the next 2 years maybe. So basically she takes a job working on a film in her parents' homeland, Ghana. And Michaela Cole is actually from Ghana. Yes. And she finds herself on an unexpected journey dealing with new friendships, family trouble, and broken illusions. The log line states that it is one that might leave her stronger, but could also break her. I'm here for it. And then talking about it, in a statement, Michaela Cole said, First Day on Earth is another very personal story for me, which I hope will engage viewers from all over the world. And I can't wait for audiences to go on Henry's journey with her. Pick up her, man. I love this. I absolutely love black excellence at its finest. And breaking into TV and stuff is great. So yeah, congratulations to her. And that is it from me. Let's get into People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. First thing I want to talk about. In fact, has anyone seen any of the new notes yet that's been circulated?
Oh, with the king on it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I did that time ago. Was that the coins?
No, the notes. Remember the other day, we were talking about how someone sold a note for like 17,000, a £10 note.
But I thought they did the notes already when
Yeah.
when the queen died. Is it just happening now?
Who? What? The notes?
Yeah.
King Charles's notes?
Yeah.
Not just happening. We spoke about it before. I'm
Yeah.
saying people have seen it now.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, have any of you seen it?
Oh, no, I haven't yet.
Okay.
I
Well,
have.
I mean,
was
I've
it?
got one.
I've seen one. I've had one. Seen one.
It doesn't even look nice. Sorry, but it's not
I don't know if
good.
I've had one, but I've definitely seen one.
okay.
I'm waiting for them to go on the coins.
Well, this is why I bring this up. So basically, the first £1 coins are going to be entering circulation this week.
He don't even do that anymore. So do they use their best picture? Because that man is an angry old grump now. That is like prime Charles. Love that anyway. Is someone selling on eBay?
See?
For what, 10,000 or 10 million? You know I can't see far.
10 bags.
As in, that's the first one.
No.
I think
Oh,
that's
it's the
first
only one in the whole of England.
No. I think it's just that person has it and then it's not circulated yet. So
The serial number must be quite low.
Because it says it's the only one in the whole of England with this number. But then wouldn't each serial number be the only number, you mug?
But if the serial number was low though, it just means it's one of the first ones that were ever printed.
People care about stuff like that.
Yeah, remember,
That's why the guy got the
17,000.
money for it.
Do you know, some of you deserve to be scammed sometimes. That's crazy.
But in the future, it might be worth something.
In
Well,
the
more
future,
than-
that's if you
more
live to
than
the future.
70,000. Pass it on to
You
your
might
kids.
pass it on to somebody. Your silly little kids, you didn't train them properly. Now they're out here buying sweets with the money. And that's that done.
For real.
It's crazy, man.
But yeah, man, almost 3 million coins, £1 coins, are going to be issued to post
Okay.
offices and banks across the country, man, this week.
Nice.
I don't know if they're going to be like any valuable, like as in more than £1, like the notes are, but they're going to be at, you know what I'm saying? So,
We're like coin collectors.
yeah, I guess so. I
I
guess
think
so.
they're really cool, you know.
But a lot of coin
It's a cool
collectors
hobby.
collect some of the, you know, the special edition like £2 coins or
£5 coin.
£5. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So
£5 coin is big.
I never knew that existed.
Yeah, it's a
it's-
£5
it's
coin.
rare.
It's a big silver coin. It's about this.
Is it?
Yes.
So how long is it going to be until Lizzie's coins are worth something? Or is it
I was
still?
thinking, I think I
Is
might keep my last ones.
it still special coins or like got a normal
It's not
coin?
What do you mean?
Because obviously the coin collectors they drop. Is that the £5 coin?
yeah.
Well, it's going for 25 quid.
What?
So it's going for 25
Oh,
quid.
was it
Or
Jubilee
or
thing?
best offer.
Oh, what was that when that happened?
That's not bad. Do you reckon that's worth it, Brent? £25 for the £5 coin.
If you're a collector.
I might get it.
Yeah? You're a collector?
Yeah, money to waste.
I didn't know you were a collector.
I'm not, but I might as well start investing in it.
That's the thing. You do all of that, yeah. And then your little trick that you do to people in traffic that piss you off.
He tells it.
Yeah. You would have thrown the £5 coin before you realised. Thinking it was a penny.
But yeah, they're going to be circulated. Next thing I want to talk about is energy prices. They're about to go up, man.
Surprise.
Yeah, so they're forecasted to rise by 9% in October. The forecaster, which is widely regarded for its accurate predictions, said that this is basically the consultancy firm Cornwall Insight. Yeah, they said that the household using a typical amount of gas and electricity will be paying £1,714 a year from October. So that's going to be £146 a year rise compared to the current typical annual bill, which was at its lowest for 2 years at 1,568. It's going to be officially announced though on Friday, I believe, when Ofgem, which is the energy regulator, are going to be announcing the next official quarterly price cap. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, once that happens, I'll let you guys know. Next thing I wanted to mention briefly is that the government is looking to scrap higher thresholds for strike action, which was introduced by the Conservatives. So it's understood, yeah, I'll just read some of this out. It's understood that Labour are looking to reverse the changes, which took effect in 2017 as part of its planned overhaul of trade union laws. Right, so legislation to enact changes will start its journey through Parliament before mid-October. This is what ministers have promised. Obviously, the Tories are kind of being critical about Keir Starmer's position, saying that obviously, like, you can't just be beholden to whatever the unions want, innit? You ain't got the funds to just give them whatever they want. There needs to be a threshold, and that needs to be implemented in legislation to some degree. James Cleverly, who's a shadow Home Secretary, recently accused the government of playing, or being played by its union paymasters. But obviously, Labour are saying that obviously we're just trying to make good on the promises that we made during the election. Obviously, they've already gone back on some of the stuff they talk about in terms of increasing taxes, but that's another story. And the last thing I want to talk about briefly is just Ted Baker, man. You heard about Ted Baker?
The designer.
Yeah.
I use a hand cream. It smells banging.
Well, you may not be able to get one soon, unfortunately. Yeah, man. The remaining 31 Ted Baker stores in the UK and Ireland are going to be closing this week.
Is he alive?
I have no idea.
It's Ted.
No idea.
Ted a real person?
Huh? I'm assuming.
To be fair, I was thinking
Is
it
Ted
could
a
be
real
somebody
person?
else who obviously just came with the name Ted Baker, innit?
Ain't the Ted Baker the designer?
Yeah, but sometimes the designer's not named after the designer. Sometimes you just like the name.
Yeah, man.
No, like if the designer's like if it's a name, like
Yeah, but sometimes it's
then obviously if it's like if a brand like Off-White, then the designer's the name of the
obviously
designer.
not going to
But
be called Off-White.
what I'm saying is the designer is the person's name. Surely you're
But
gonna
sometimes
assume
it's
that.
not though. That's what I'm saying.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Not
You would
always,
assume
though.
that, but sometimes it's not.
Jean-Paul Gaultier, what's his name?
He's never been a real person.
He's never been real.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. Ted Baker is not a person, but a British fashion brand founded in 1988 by Ray Kelvin. The brand name Ted Baker was created as a marketing tool. There isn't an actual individual named Ted Baker associated with the founding of the company.
So you spoke all that French and for what? Wow, Jean-Paul Lefebvre.
No, so I'm saying that's why you would assume though, isn't it? That's a natural assumption.
Yeah,
I didn't know that they just
yeah.
make up fake characters just to put
I mean,
them out
that's
here.
it. That's-
That's wild.
That's right up my street.
Like Ted Baker's just don't exist, but
Nope.
this whole time I thought
What's his name? What's his real name again, Brent?
Ray Kelvin?
That is saying nothing. That's not saying a damn thing. Ted Baker was smart. Made sense. Well,
pick up him. That was cool.
pick up him though.
Yeah, man.
At the time.
More than 500 jobs are going to be at risk.
That's sad.
Like I said, all 31 stores are going to be closing this week. Yeah, man. In April, administrators closed 15 shops and cut 245 jobs. And yeah, it just looks like everything's just going downhill, man. So that's going to be the end of Ted Baker in this country. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
Thank you very much. Should we get into our interview?
Let's do it.
Wonderful. We have a lovely guest here, returning. I love when guests return. A returning guest, actually, is family at this point. It's not really a guest anymore. And he's done amazing. The last time he was here, talked to us about Mentivity, talked to us about some amazing things that he had coming up. And he's done it.
Yes, he has.
He's done it. Sayce is back.
Yeah.
Morning, Sayce.
Morning.
How are you?
Right? I'm good. Good to be back.
And you got married recently.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, beautiful day, man.
Another one bites the dust.
In a good way.
Don't
Don't get me in trouble already, though.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because that's silly man. How are you though? How's things been?
I'm
Been
good,
working?
you know. Yeah, been grinding.
Yeah.
It's been a very busy year, very tough year, challenging in a number of areas, but yeah, you're challenged for a reason.
Yeah,
So you have
absolutely.
to see if you really want what you want to achieve. So yeah, we're on our way to doing that. So it's been a good year professionally,
Wonderful.
personally, been beautiful. Wife turned 40, got married,
beautiful.
son's 18, finished college,
Wow.
triple
beautiful.
distinction the other day for his grades.
That's what.
Yeah, he had no choice.
Excellent.
He
Big
had
up
no
him.
choice.
Excellence, man.
He had no
Excellence.
choice and starts his tech apprenticeship next month as well.
Amazing.
So yeah, really good times in the now Holmes-Lewis household now. Everyone's Holmes-Lewis.
Oh
now.
yes,
That's
that's
it.
nice.
Yeah, man. So, yeah,
strong
public
name, you
guy.
know.
I know.
That's how we do greatness in this household.
For
man.
real. For real.
So yeah, all good.
That's
good.
lit. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
That's
you-
beautiful. Are we gonna play the game with Sayce again?
Yes.
I said
Again,
we
yeah.
Run it back,
yes.
man.
Forgot about this one.
No.
I didn't even. What was my score last time? I didn't even know.
Oh, we should have looked it up.
-1 or
Yes.
something.
Mine now.
Minus-
Try it, bro.
So what is Sayce?
Why
What's your
you
problem?
on me today? I don't know. You see me twice in 2 weeks.
Can you imagine? That's too much. Just too much.
That's it now.
Okay. Brent, are you ready?
I am ready.
One sec.
I need to know my score, man.
I know, we need to know score.
I was thinking, what was it? I told you, I'll keep it anyway.
I've got it somewhere. But remember, that was last year.
Yeah.
So we got a new list now.
All right.
Oh, that was last year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. All things are
What's
What's the
passed away.
score to beat this year now?
Okay.
And who's the person to beat?
Who's the
Alright,
person
so
to beat this
currently,
year?
let me get. There's a draw. So we got Dr. Armani.
Okay.
What was that?
I don't know what
I said add new sounds. That's not what I meant.
And we got Travis J.
Okay.
So both of them at the top with 26 points.
26. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the second? What did second get? Second place
Mr.
get?
Money Jar.
Okay. What did you get?
To be fair, he got 26, but with an asterisk.
Why is that?
You kind of helped with one answer.
Who?
Oh,
we did?
Yeah. So I gave it to him, but he's still, you know what I mean? He's got a little asterisk there.
Okay.
The other
fair.
two didn't need no help. So
If Sayce just knocks everyone, then it's just done.
Let's
Do
do
you
my
get me?
best. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
All right. So as you know, it's general knowledge questions and also this or that, and it's over 140 beat.
Okay.
Wonderful. Everybody ready?
yes, am I starting? You don't have
Yes.
to ask.
You ask this every time. Yes, and then me and then Mugs.
Cool.
Right. And if you don't know one, just pass. And
Alright,
then
cool.
take
That's the
one.
secret.
And make sure when I say pass, you lot are quick. A good transition.
All right.
All right. Everyone ready? Brent.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Local or global?
Global.
100 plus 10 plus 1 is what?
111.
H2O is the chemical formula for what?
Water.
All black or all white?
All black.
Name 2 Scandinavian countries.
Finland. Norway.
Mpox was previously known as
Monkeypox.
Netflix or Disney Plus?
Disney Plus.
The Telegraph is a left or right wing paper.
Right wing.
Joseph, Mary, and Jesus went to what country to escape Herod?
Oh, pass.
AI or humans?
Humans all day.
Canberra is the capital city of what country?
Australia.
Portobello Road is in what part of London?
Notting Hill.
Happiness or money?
Happiness.
Finish this sentence. Free.
Labour.
Who's the deputy PM of the UK?
Angela Rayner.
Economics or politics?
Economics.
Who directed Inception, Dark Knight, and Tenet?
Oh. Pass.
Hexagon has how many sides?
8.
You cooked though.
You cooked.
We might have a new.
No, work it out first.
All right, cool.
I don't want to get excited. That
I
was
need to know my
sick.
score this time. It's Christopher Nolan, isn't it? Inception.
yeah,
Christopher Nolan.
yeah.
I couldn't get it. I just. Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right, cool.
No, that was actually sick.
Give me 2.
But Hexagon is 6 there.
It wasn't it? Yeah.
Hexagon is
Octagon.
6,
Yeah.
And then
Just
Portobello
sick.
Road is West London.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
okay.
said Notting Hill, but he said
So
the right
what part of
area.
London?
I hear you, but he said the right area though. I don't know.
Sorry, if you were on.
If you go through Notting Hill Carnival, you go through Portobello Road.
He said,
We
what
can- we
part
can-
of London? If you guys, what's
Well,
that
be
game
straight.
show?
So what am I
Well,
saying? West London.
Yeah.
That's what the.
Well,
You were saying West London.
That's different than that's the question. Come on.
We can
Okay,
give
let's
it.
see
I
what
think we
points you
can
get
give it.
back.
I would. I'm not gonna lie. I would have given it to him.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Notting Hill.
You're trying to make amends before you finish this earlier. Of course you would. No, but to be fair, yeah, that's
Finish your
fine.
sentence. Free what?
Ramsey
Free
said you got that
anything.
wrong.
Who said it got wrong?
Ramsey said you got it wrong.
Got
Got what wrong?
The 3.
Oh, he
Free
said free
Labour.
Palestine.
Oh, free
I
Palestine.
didn't know.
No, but I didn't know. I didn't know it was free Palestine. I thought it
Everybody
was
wants
like
free labour anyway.
I would have said free.
It's always free Palestine, but
I would
yeah.
have said free food, free money. I would have said anything.
Listen, that was
just
just random. That was just,
That was
could have been
random.
anything.
I would have said
Yeah,
Dom is a must.
That could have been 3 shots of tequila. That could have been anything.
Yeah, so that don't count. He gets a point for that. You can't put free ... and
Yeah,
not
that
let
was a
people
bit
say
mad.
what's on
Finish
their
the
hearts.
sentence, you know.
Yeah, it's literally like whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one sec.
That was good though. That was really. I'm very fast. I feel like I felt pressure because you said we shouldn't be slow. So I felt like okay, I have to do stutter.
So
Like
you worked to what I needed.
you got to do what
So
you
you got the
to
logo
do.
up there as well, yeah? All right, appreciate that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yemi sends his apologies. He's sick.
Oh.
He's very ill at the moment, so.
I hope it feels
got the
better
flu.
soon.
Yeah. He wanted to be here.
Well, babes, we can he can always come back.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just as a reminder, while Iman is doing, I thought you were an economics man. Bloody hell,
It's
bro.
trigonometry over there, bro.
Honestly, is carrying the one.
I got to make sure because the numbers are looking good.
Well, I forgot 40.
All right, cool. Extra verification.
Could you imagine?
2-factor, yeah? Authentication.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
gosh. Just for anyone who may have missed the last interview, can you tell us please about Mentivity?
Yeah, Mentivity is a mentoring organisation primarily, which goes into schools, supports young people within education, those that need an aspirational boost, those that are struggling to stay in school, but also we go in and educate teachers and try to bridge the relationship between teachers, young people, and the parents as well, which is important. But additionally now, Mentivity is really kind of transformed. So we've got a respite provision now, to which my mum heads up. She's the head of education at Mentivity.
Big up aunties.
Yeah, so and that's at Mentivity House. So
That's
we
sick.
finally obviously got the building.
Amazing,
So
amazing.
last time I was here, we were waiting.
You were
for the
waiting,
keys.
yeah.
Like, I was waiting for about 3 years, mate. So yeah, we finally got in the building March 11th, and it's just been crazy challenge to get that building ready. But yeah, Mentivity House is the community space, community centre.
Where is
on
that
the
based?
On the Aylesbury estate.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, where I grew up. So yeah, it's a really
Such a full circle moment.
I know,
How
man.
emotional was that? Because that's such a
ah.
that's such a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was crazy because when I went in, it was actually the first day of Ramadan, and I was so overwhelmed. I was in there by myself, and I got the keys, and I was just like,
Wow.
I don't know what to do. I just prayed, and I actually
Yeah.
filmed myself praying
Oh, that's
in the
beautiful.
hall, and it was like just a beautiful moment, and it was just like all my efforts and everything I've gone through, all my life experiences to get
Yeah.
to this point. I used to walk down that road every single day to go to school, and my grand lived not far
amazing.
from there, so.
That's so surreal.
Yeah, I know. So it was written. It was supposed to happen. So, I'm grateful to Allah that it was able to be realised. And but the challenge now is getting things going in that building. And people don't tell you when you lease a building, all these associated costs and all that stuff. So it's been a challenge, but it's been a good challenge. So,
That's good.
Yeah.
And is that the only thing that you do just for anyone else is watching?
So run Mentivity on a day-to-day. That's my day job. I'm also on the London Police Board as an advisor to the Mayor on policing. So one of 12 board members. I'm actually the youngest board member on that.
Wow,
so
amazing.
yeah, so that's been a challenge as well. Again, you guys are talking about stop and search, strip search as well, and that's a major issue for us as Londoners, but also for the police board, which is holding the Met to account and supporting Sadiq Khan as well, which is just very bureaucratic. You know what I mean? It's a very long process. So there was stuff that you guys were talking about when I was driving here. I was like, why you guys wait for me? I want to talk.
No, you can let us know. You can let us know now.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, man.
Yeah, so that's that, and then obviously I'm a husband, I'm a father,
Wonderful.
and I just try to give back to the community as much as possible whilst enjoying myself as well. So
That's beautiful. On the police board, is it diverse?
it is. So you got Stuart Lawrence, so Stephen Lawrence's brother's on
Nice.
there. You got Paula McDonald, who's the chair of Red Thread. You've also got Andrea Simon, who's the head of end violence against women and girls.
Yeah.
You've also got Neil Basu, who was the previous assistant commissioner as well. So it's a very it's literally who's who from different areas of their kind of careers and doing really good stuff. And they're really passionate about holding the police to account. So it's
Yeah.
a really, really good team. And it's just very difficult because MOPAC, which is obviously they hold the police to account, the Mayor's Office for Police and Crime, and then ourselves and the Met, we're in the middle. So we're just trying to be in the middle ground and just basically connect the dots because we're totally independent.
Yeah.
So we're totally independent. So we're tasked with making sure that the case review, the points in the report, that they're basically implemented to the best of their ability. So it's a proper challenge. It's going to be a long-term thing. This is systemic change that we need to
exactly.
implement, and it's not going to happen, But the Met, as it stands, and I'll be very, very candid, they're very insidious. It's a very insidious organisation. It has been, and it's just reflective of this history of this country in terms of imperialism and colonialism.
on it.
And it's an extension of that, and there's a lot of things that we need to do to actually stop what's going on. But we've got to stop it in society first before we do it in the Met. We can't do it in institutions before we do it in society.
That's the thing.
So that's the problem. So there's a lot of education and miseducation and a lot of ignorance out there. But yeah, it's a massive challenge. So yeah,
How often do you let me up?
quarterly, so every 3 months pretty much. But then we have a number of meetings that we have in between that. We go and do site visits to other local organisations that are doing things to try and hold the police to account. But it's all very disjointed. There's no strategy, and that's what we're trying to do, is trying to get a strategy together and be the voice of Londoners and represent Londoners. We're not influenced by the Mayor, we're not influenced by the Met, we're just totally independent. So holding them to account is important, man.
How effective do you think it is? Obviously, because like you said, implement change and stuff's hard. Obviously, you're not going to do something that you don't believe in or whatever. But realistically, how much change do you believe you can implement? How effective is it?
I wouldn't say it's as effective as you would think we would want to be, because there's so much chaos in terms of what we have to do in terms of trying to fight. It's like fighting fires, but we're not setting the fires. It's like, there's a fire over there right now, child queue, strip search, okay, now violence against women and girls, femicide, all these different things. So we can only give a small amount of time to a particular topic, but then it's down to us in terms of the board members to go into different areas of our expertise. So mine would be children and the community. So I'll go and do more work on that. So there's a children's, why am I getting the plan? There's a children's plan that's coming, a child first strategy, should I say, that the Met are basically implementing. But the Met are not the best people to do that because they don't have expertise around working with children. So what they're doing is that they're routinely recruiting police officers rather than specialists that work in with young people, youth work, or whatever it may be, or teachers. And then you're actually getting officers to try and implement this strategy, and they've got no clue. So then we've got to raise that. So when we're in the board meetings or outside the board meetings, I'll be like, look, Sadiq, the board, why are we doing this? Why are we recruiting officers? Why are we not recruiting professionals who have expertise in these areas? So it's just the way that they're used to doing things. If you're not challenged, you're going to continue to do it and then reproduce that inequality and oppression over and over again. So yeah, it's not as effective in the short term as we want it to be, but this is a long-term thing because we're undoing hundreds of years of, insidious racism and bias. And I heard you say unconscious bias earlier. This is all conscious. This is all conscious bias because you're making a decision to do these things. You know, you're making a decision to strip search this young lady in school and do this without the parents. Like you're making these conscious decisions without any recourse. You're like, I can do this because
I have the power. Who's going to check me? Kind of
exactly,
thing.
pretty much. And that's the problem is that. So what Samart Radi's got to do is try and get these officers out a lot quicker. And that whole process is just totally bureaucratic. And it costs so much money to the taxpayer, but then you're having to then backfill those roles and spend more money when you're still paying this officer who's suspended. So it's just a mess. It's a mess. So there's a lot to work through. And that's what I'm realizing. When I first went into the role, I'm like, yeah, we're going to... I was like, nah, this is mad. There's so much to do. So it's not as effective as you want it to be, but we've only been in post a year, not even a year.
Okay.
A year next month. So we've got 3-year contracts, I believe. So I've got 2 more years left at a minimum.
How did you get into that position? Like, what's the...
It started from 2020 when I got the stop and search, and then putting that video out, and then I just on the campaign because you guys talking about your experiences earlier, and you actually forget them because they're so traumatic at times.
Your brain blocks it out. That's what your brain does with
that's what
trauma.
happens. Yeah, so I totally forgot about it, and then I just got to a point. I was like, I'm not having this anymore.
Yeah.
And I thought I need to do something different. So that put me on a path, and I just kept campaigning around stop and search and young people in particular because how it impacted me. And it just got closer and closer to, Sadiq Khan and the mayor's office and stuff like that. And people knew what I was about. So when the role came up, they were like, look, why don't you consider this? So I was looked at it and I thought, you know what, let me give it a shot. And then I was successful. So yeah, nice. I think it's important for our community to see people like this doing it, and I would never ordinarily do these things. Like politics isn't for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I can't do it because everything I'm doing is already political. So I don't need to be in these rooms and then be restricted on what I can do and what I can say. Yeah. Like I'm not restricted to some degree. Obviously, running Mentivity, so I've got a responsibility there. But there's things that I can do. I've got a bit of autonomy. So.
Is that a job?
What's that?
The position that you have.
What, for the London Police Board?
Yeah.
Of course, bro. You think I'm going to do it for free? You're mad. No, they pay. Thank you.
As they
pay,
should.
Yeah, they pay us all. But also it's like for 15 days, but I think most of us are done in excess of 20 days already.
Wow.
So then you get additional day rate for that as well.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I think they thought it was going to be light touch in comparison to what we're doing. And the board, as I said, the people that have been selected are just really on point. It's really, really good. So it gives me a bit more hope. But hopefully it can inspire other people to do more in and around this area, but also we need a holistic community strategy. We need to police our own communities before we allow them to police us. And that's what they want. They want to police us, So, and that's why these things happen routinely.
Did you want to apply, Mugs? Did you want to apply?
What's the salary?
It's 15K a year.
Yeah, I'll take it. Quarterly.
Is that quarterly?
Yeah, exactly.
Couple Zoom
There's
meetings.
a lot of reading.
There's
There's a lot of reading, though. I'll be real. It's a lot of reading.
And I can implement change in my community. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take it.
Yeah, they advertised it last year.
That's not like working for the police.
No way. No way. You know what? It's so funny. I had a meeting. Listen, I had a meeting with some of my brothers from the masjid, from the mosque, and we were just introducing each other as a group of us. So we went to their mom's house to have a dinner, and everyone's explaining what they do and stuff. And then I said, okay, cool, I run Mentivity, but I'm also on the London Police Board. And there was someone in there, I can't say he was a rapper, he was like that. What, man? He's a Fed. Like, everyone's like, no, what, he's a Fed? I'm like, no, I'm not a Fed. I'm literally independent, blah, blah, blah. But,
Yeah, you got to finish your sentence. You can't just stop at, I'm on board with the police. Like, oh, okay.
No. Independent. I would never personally, I could never work for the police. I would hold them to account and do what I do.
Yeah.
But I couldn't work for the police based on what they do to our communities and do to people that actually join the force. Because black people are more likely to leave the force and be charged through misconduct and things like that. So again, that whole insidious conscious bias,
It's
that whole
deep-rooted, man.
Yeah, it is, really is. So.
See, I agree with everything you said about the police, right, and how you described the Met and everything. But to the person, the skeptic out there, who might even be part of the police, who's saying, but Sayce, if you look at the figures from 2018 to 2023, black people, black children were 6 times more likely. But now, based on this new report, it's gone down to 4 times more likely.
Yeah.
Aren't we doing our best to change things? What would you say to that?
Figures don't reflect what actually happens. You can manipulate the figures to work in your favor. And what we've got to think about is that 6 times more likely was during COVID. So, and that's why it's a bit of an anomaly. So it would probably continue to be 4 times more likely. But because of COVID, stop and search obviously spiked because people were on the road. We were more likely to be on the streets because we don't have the economic resources to be at home. So we had to go to work. So that's why we're getting stopped and searched a lot more. And that's why it spiked. So again, it's really important for people to understand that there's relativity when it comes to these figures and what it seeks to prove. So you need to understand why this is spiked. And that's what I really learned on the police board is that we've got a statistician, John Aston, from I can't remember what university, but he's sick when it comes to like all of that and the data, and he just literally unpicks it. So I would say it's not getting better because these things are still happening. When you think about child Q, that's happened to. If we can think about so many people in our communities, we know someone's been strip searched 100%. And how it's traumatized them. It happened to my cousin in 2021, and the way they impacted him. I got so angry because he was powerless and he was working. He was an Uber Eats rider. He was at work. Imagine. So it's crazy. So I don't think it's improving. And that's the narrative that the police always say. Oh, things are getting better. And they say the same about racism, but look what's going on right now. It's not got better. It's just that we don't see it. So I don't agree that the figures showcase improvement.
So do you feel then that sometimes working alongside, not working for, but working alongside these institutions, that sometimes these are just empty gestures? Or do you feel like it's really an effort to kind of bridge the gap?
It depends on what the outcome is. And I think the outcome, we've got the Casey report as something which is our Bible, pretty much, to adhere to. So in terms of the outcomes, we want to realise the outcomes because that Casey review and Baroness Casey, like Louise, is amazing. Like when she came in and did the session and really broke it down, I was like, I'm in awe of what you've done because you've gone totally against the establishment as a white woman and you're telling them literally what every black person has been saying for years, but put it in a report. So I've got the utmost respect for her. But I don't think it's an empty gesture if we are really driving systemic change. And I feel that the London Police Board will have some impact in that. But again, to what measure, I can't tell you because it's a long road ahead. So I don't think this is something that's going to change drastically within 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This is something like 20, 30, 40 years, So I think it's about the intentions. I know what my intention is to make sure that the things that have happened to me in my community don't happen to other people, but also that we feel safe. And then how do we feel safe? How do we build that emotional, that empathetic capacity, that social capacity of officers that are not from ends? We have to then think about who we're recruiting and how much are we paying these officers. That's why you're getting the worst of the worst sometimes because they're thinking, oh, I live in rural parts of the UK, I'm going to go get 38 grand working in London. That's great for me.
Exactly.
But for someone that lives in London, 38 grand is nothing. So then you're already disillusioned because you're getting paid for a job that no one likes you. You've got no impact. You get no support from your superiors. So you're just now in limbo and you're just vexed. And you deal with the worst of the worst in society on a day-to-day basis, depending on what you do. And then that reinforces that condition you have or that view that you have in terms of racism or whatever it may be. So it's just a never-ending issue.
Sorry, very quickly. Davina said, breaking news, just received a call to say my baby no longer needs her oxygen support. That is amazing news. Oh, that's amazing. Praise God. Thank God.
Yes, you mentioned something about empathy. I was listening to, I think it was LBC, and somebody mentioned something along the lines of empathy deficiency and how these police officers all lack it. Right? If that's the case, right, and we already know in our community we don't trust the police, we don't trust the institution, yet we're saying we need to be the ones policing ourselves. How do we navigate that though?
When we say policing ourselves, I don't think it's actually in the guise of what policing is from a police perspective. It means about being accountable and making sure that we are finding solutions to the problems that we face in our communities. Like when you said earlier about impoverished communities, like they're underserved, they're under-resourced, and that is by design. So we've got to understand then how do we extract that money, which is actually apportioned to us to make sure it stays in our communities, because the money's there. When you're regenerating the Ellsbury estate and all the Summer Leighton, like the money is there. There's money for social value and reinvestment in that community. But how do we access it? We don't, because there's no regulatory body. So we need to understand how these systems work. And that's why it's important to work alongside these systems to then counteract it with solutions which then basically benefit those that are, you know, not hard to engage. I hate to say that, actually, that are not able to be reached or not able to be served by the statutory services. So I think that we have to reimagine what that looks like in terms of how we build empathy in our own communities, because building empathy with people outside of communities, there's no point. That's not going to work. We have to do that from a young age in our communities, because if you have more empathy, then that means and you're familiar. If I see you on the road, I'm like, oh, I know you. You go to youth club or you go to here. You know, I'm not going to do this because I know what's going to happen to me. But these children and young and adults as well, they don't know anybody. So when they do something to somebody, I don't care about that person. Like, they're dead. I don't mind that. Just keep it moving. And it's what we're seeing in society. So, and that's around which you're going to hate. Capitalism and individualism, because it breeds individualism, and that's what the issue is, that we don't have the village, we don't have the community, and we need to get back to that, and that's what's really, really important.
I agree with you. It's funny, this might be a silly example, but it's funny when you mentioned about working alongside these institutions, what it brought to my mind. I remember being in secondary school and I got into a conversation with a teacher about, because basically we were in a gifted and talented group, right?
Yeah.
And there was a certain amount of money apportioned to that particular group.
Yeah.
But we never knew, right? It's only because of this conversation I had with this teacher where it came up that, wait a minute, all of us are meant to have a certain amount of funding to do particular things. So I was like, wait a minute, there's a trip coming up. Can we go on it? Like, yeah. At a discount then. So basically we ended up paying only £10 for this trip for like three days. But if I didn't get into this conversation, I would never have known. So what are they doing with this money? You know what I'm saying?
Absorbing it.
It's just ridiculous.
And you're seeing this in society. Like I said, around social value, regeneration and rebuilding the states is big money. So when you've got a development that's like 500,000, you know what I mean, or 500 million, should I say, 25% of that should go to social value.
Yeah.
But then what happens is that there's no, as I said, no regulatory body. No one's saying, okay, where's that 25% going? And how is it being invested? And that's something that my wife and I, we've set up a social value consultancy, because we need to be in the room from inception to completion, and then implementation, saying, look, how are we now implementing what you're saying you want to do into the communities, and who's doing that? Because if it's people that don't look like the same people from the community, there's no empathy or understanding what it is. So, let's just put on a fun day, and that costs like 200K, and it's like, all right, great, but what happened to the other 25 million?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's very, very important that we understand that, and really immersing ourselves in local authorities and councils and even politics, which you have to understand it, and economics and all that stuff. So it's been, for me personally, this year's been a real journey, because I've had to grow in so many different areas, and that's allowed the organisation to grow as well, because you have to understand where this money is going and why it's not reaching our communities.
What would you say is, like, I guess maybe that one thing that you've learned in this past year that blew your mind?
I think it's around the social value, just find out that when you get tenders, like whether it's TFL, or developers, you've got Berkeley, you've got Hill Housing, Notting Hill, like just realizing that there was money there that should be going to communities. So what essentially happens is that they will come and say, okay, Mentivity, for example, we've got 500K over the next 5 years. And you're like, wow, I need that 100K a year. And you're like, that's great. Yeah, I'll do that. Full well knowing that in the pot there's a lot more, and then that just gets like siphoned or absorbed into other budgets. Or what they do is then they give it to all these subcontractors, and there's all these subcontractors will have a pot of like $5,000, and they give it to different charities. That's not going to impact anybody, because it's just like a scattergun approach. But if you say, right, we've got 3 main organizations we're working with, and you're now going to get 175K each a year, and then these are what the outcomes in, and we're going to measure that, then cool. And now we couple that with giving you a space. There you go. Now you can implement stuff. But there's a lot more that we need to learn, and I need to pay it forward now to other organizations who are in the same, space as I am, because I need to give that free consultancy and say, look, this is what I've gone through. There you go. I'm not going to be a gatekeeper, and this is going to allow us all to flourish, and that's what's important. But other people don't have that outlook. Unfortunately.
we literally had a conversation about crabs in a barrel. Oh,
Yeah.
yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Yeah. You film every day, chow. Forgot what happened this morning. So you have got a film out at the moment. Can you please tell us about that? It was really thanks for inviting us. It was really nice coming down to watch that.
Yeah.
And I think that it was just really nice to hear I love the Q&A section of it, and just hearing how people relate to it, and just having people give you your flowers, but also just reaffirming how important this is.
Yeah.
But how was that for you? The event, the film, everything.
Oh man, that's probably one of the greatest things I've done in a long time, because I really had to put myself out of my comfort zone. But with Yemi, Adi Yemi is just an amazing filmmaker. We worked together on Murder on the Streets, which is a panorama piece about Raheem Barton, my mentee that got shot and killed back in 2018. And Yemi and I have done similar work at Danielle Taylor Centre back in the day, and we used to cross paths a lot. But also he went to the same college as my brother Tyson, who's also a co-founder of Mentivity, and we just knew all the same people. So when we met again in 2018 and worked on this project, I always knew that we would do some more work together, because it's a really important piece for us as an organisation, but also for the community. That's got well over 500,000 views since it went out.
Amazing.
But it was just a perfect piece to showcase what can happen to our young people and how it impacts the community. So when I had this idea with Spotify and the team around doing a documentary, I was like, there's only one person.
Sick.
They had all these other people who I'm not going to say who they were. I was like, no, this is it. This is the person. It's going to be Yemi, and it's only going to be Yemi because he understands one, what we're doing in the community. He's from the community. He's from ends. He knows what's going on, and he's just amazing what he's done. Over the course of his career. So, the Centre is a film really about reclaiming spaces for young people and the impact of youth work, and really now bringing back youth clubs, because we've had, in real terms, they say £1 billion divested from youth services, but it's way more than that. If you think about the true cost of the economy, it's probably about 10 to 15 billion that we've lost in terms of youth services. And then you think about what we spent on trying to rectify these things as well. And then also within education, it's over 30 billion has been extracted from education.
Damn bad,
NHS,
man.
34 billion.
That's crazy.
And then you think about the PPE scandal as well, there's a lot more from that. So all this money is disappearing, but the problems are still there. So this is what we tried to highlight in the film, and just showcase Mentivity House, which is now called, because we wanted that home environment for young people. And he smashed it. He literally
did.
smashed
He was
it.
absolutely amazing. How did you know? Because we've got a few cameos from celebs in there. How did you know who to go to? Who would be perfect to be part of the project?
Yeah, it was people that spoke about youth clubs in previous interviews and stuff. So Ezra Collective, when they won their award, I think the Mercury Prize, they were talking about youth clubs and the importance of youth work, and that's where they met, youth clubs. So Femi was definitely someone we wanted, and he came in and absolutely smashed it. Buck is from the ends as well, from Ellsbury Estate, from Walworth. So again, to have Buck, I was like, Buck, I need you to be on this. He was like, yeah, cool, man. Just let me know where and when. And it's important for people to see people from the very same community.
Absolutely,
Miss Banks as well, she grew up in the Brandon Estate, and that's where Raheem was actually killed and that's just off Walworth Road as well. So having Miss Banks in there, we had others that couldn't make it. I reached out to Bashi. He was like, I can't, because I got so much going on with the filming and the album, which, big up Bashi, by the way, that album is sick. But it's amazing. So
That's 4 to 5, by the way. 4 to 5
Rotations.
rotations. Yeah.
So
Solid.
Yeah, so literally, it was about us reaching out to people who understand what's going on, and that they could bring their audience into the realm of Mentivity. And it was just amazing. We had Colin Batzer as well. I tried to get so many people. I wanted about 20 people in that, and Yemi's like, no, Sayce, only 5, 6, that's it. I've got a vision, follow my vision. I'm like, all right, all good. He's like, 10 minutes, it's not long enough. We need 20 minutes. He's like, no, 10 minutes. And just following his lead and trusting him, he created something truly special. And for me, I pushed myself as well, because I'm executive producer on that. And that was something which I was like, seeing my name in the credits. I was like, this is mad,
Amazing.
But it was great to do it at Spotify and to see the community come out and to see people's faces. When I was sitting up there on stage and we're talking about you, everyone was just gassed and they're happy. They brought back lots of memories, and that's what we need, And young people now haven't experienced that, so we need to bring that back.
Amazing, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
100%.
Very sick.
Everybody, please check out. I think Brent just put the link in the chat.
Yes.
And it'll be in the description or the comments of this video as well. So please check it out. Powerful video. You said something in there that's stuck with me. You said, experiencing and having joy is the highest form of resistance. Please elaborate on that.
So I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand that when people used to say that to me. I really didn't get it because even I think me as a black man growing up, my empathy was low because of the way the world was towards me.
Towards you, yeah.
So I had to build on that empathy. And when you don't have that empathy, you don't have that empathy for yourself sometimes. So when you experience joy, especially with what's going on in the world, they don't want us to experience any sort of happiness or joy. So the minute that you have some sort of happiness or joy, that is the highest form of resistance against this system which seeks to destroy us on a day-to-day basis. And I think for young people, which is so important, they don't get to experience that joy or that success or those relationships which allow them to experience success more routinely because we don't have the capacity to do so because of resources or time or whatever it is. So yeah, that was something which really stuck with a lot of people, to be honest. A lot of people really spoke about that, but I've learned that from a lot of people that I've worked with in this sector. You know, Temi Mwale, Stafford Scott, and they used to say these things, and I was like, I don't really get it. But now I understand, you know, because they don't want us to experience anything positive. So it is, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to recreate that in our community so we can actually enjoy our lives as well, not just struggle and survive through it.
100%, man. I believe it was Femi that said something at the very end about basically, I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but it's basically incumbent upon us who've got certain skills to give back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For somebody who, for example, feels like they haven't got any skills, just doing their normal 9 to 5, how can the average person give back to their community?
There's a number of ways. You've got children within your network in terms of people that you know, friends and family, and your voice holds far more weight than that of the parents because they hear it every single day. And if you build that relationship with that young person, sometimes what you can you say in one conversation can really change their trajectory. So sometimes it can be just a light touch like that, but you can be volunteering for organisations like Mentivity and say, look, I've got expertise in this area or that area, or I can help with young people, or I've got a safeguarding professional. That's what we're encouraging people to do, because if everyone then contributes to the community and really uplifting our children, then we're going to see a massive change, because I feel that we've neglected our young people to the point that they're now crying out for that support, and they're saying, look, I'm just going to act out. And that's what you see in school. Children act out.
Yeah,
the
when
the work's hard, I don't want to do this, so like I just flip out because I know now I don't have to do the work. So what's happening is that the lack of emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, when you couple that with the access to weapons, especially knives, you're now fearful of that person potentially having a knife, so I'm going to strike first. So it's kill or be killed, the survival of the fittest, unfortunately for young people. And they're not experiencing childhood like we did. Like the amount of stress that and the trauma that they're going through and they experience on a day-to-day, not even firsthand, social media, on Snapchat. Snapchat's a major issue, because you can't really track what's going on with young people. So it's very dangerous. So we've got to understand now that there's ways that we can all contribute, but we have to give that time, because if we don't give that time, then what's going to happen is that it's going to hit your doorstep, and then you're going to be one to be invested in it, and it's too late.
It's too late then.
So you've got to think about, what if this happens to my child? That's the way to look at it, and that's the way I've always looked at it. This can happen to my son. Yeah, exactly that. And, and I want the best for young people. So that's important.
I was asking Margaret's question about the whole knife stuff right before. And Mentivity House, where in the journey from home to road does it sit? And who populates Mentivity? Obviously, you have a variety of young people that come in. And a few questions. And also, what type of support? I hear that there is support to find access to joy, right? But what about those ones that come in and they just came from on road?
Yeah.
What do y'all have in terms of support in Mentivity House in that regard?
Yes, a good question. That's what we're trying to formulate, and having a community consultation is important, because we need to understand what the community want. We can't just implement what I think as an adult and what I see are the issues and say, we're going to do this, because that's the same as school.
Yeah.
So we need to consult them and consult the community and understand what their issues are, what they need. And really, the need is money. They want to make money, because that's why they're on road. They wouldn't willingly do this knowing that they're going to go through all this trauma, potentially get stabbed, be chased by police on a routine basis, if they're only going to earn 10 grand a year. It's nothing. So when you give them a tangible, viable, visible pathway, and that's what we're doing at Mentivity House now, we're looking at apprenticeships in tech and construction.
Sick.
It's good enough for my son, so I'm saying it's good enough for you. So, for example, if you're now working in a tech apprenticeship at Hitachi, like my son is, potentially you can earn between 24 and 30k at the age of 18.
See? Yeah.
We're now partnering with another construction firm. They're doing bricklaying and stuff like that. You basically 14 months of investment in terms of training and doing apprenticeship. When you come out, you qualify 38.5 grand a year as a bricklayer. You can earn that literally at the age of 17. What would that do for a young person in terms of keeping them away from the streets, knowing that I'm going to be earning 3.5, 4 grand a month because I'm working at this job? It's a massive difference, but they just don't have the pathway. So where Mentivity House is, by doing the outreach work in schools, it's important that we signpost them back to Mentivity House.
Yeah.
Then we have a program of events in and around apprenticeships, life skills, just having fun, youth club, whatever it may be. So it's a full program of events, and then having people come in, do master classes. You know, imagine you guys coming in using our podcast studio and showing young people how to put together a podcast. That's what we need to do to pay it forward and allow young people to see people in their community doing these things. And that's what we're trying to do, you know. So with the support of Spotify, you know, who are going to build a podcast studio for us, the first
sick.
satellite. Yeah. So I can't wait for that.
That's
and then
amazing.
we'll be producing our own podcast with Spotify for young people. So we're looking forward to that. But the support of Spotify has been really important to raise the awareness around Mentivity. And for Spotify to do a short film, you know, that's going against the grain. They're all about music. So we've done something really special there. And just big up Rick Salmon and the team at Spotify for really
I was going to say, how did that even come about as well?
Oh, it's mad, you know. It's actually through Marvin Harrison, so Dope Black Dads. He was away and it was like, oh, Sayce, Spotify looking for a presenter around something, around Stop and Search. And I just thought of you, you're perfect. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, why not? So I sent an email and they were like, yeah, we need you here on Saturday. This is young people that have been stopped and searched. And I just need you to just facilitate a dialogue, a conversation. I'm like, oh, cool. So I went down there, did it. It was really, really good. And then I met the MD, a guy called Tom, who's no longer there at Spotify. Just got talking, and then the BOK network at Spotify. And I just said, look, I've got some ideas what I'd like to do. And they were like, this sounds really good. So then within 8 weeks of talking, they funded us $100,000 just as like a golden handshake to say, look, we're committed.
We're committed to this.
And I was like, right, and it was a proper surprise because I didn't even ask for money at that point.
Okay.
So and they just literally just
So that
surprised
you know
me.
we're serious about this.
So I was like, right, that's mad. So we got that money, and then I was like, right, what's the long term look like? So then I was just tasking them with what the long-term support for Mentivity is, and it was around a number of things, and then the documentary came up, and this was conversations we started back in 2022.
Wow.
So it took a while, and then Spotify had a number of redundancies and stuff like that, so the budgets were cut, etc. So we had to really be innovative, and I had to source funds to help with the film and stuff for Mentivity. So it's a shared film between Mentivity and Spotify, literally, like we've invested in that as well. So,
That's beautiful.
yeah. Did I answer your question, Brent?
No, yes, but I still want to focus on a couple more. So in the building itself, is there like a check to see if it is that they're walking in with?
Not at present, and there will be. But the thing is that what we've created already is an environment where young people know that they're safe. And for those that are doing those things, we will then facilitate how we work with them, but they know that this is a safe space for them. So at the moment, the demographics between about 7 and 13 years of age. But really what we're trying to do is engage the 13 to 19-year-olds, which is going to be a lot more difficult. So what I have to do routinely with some of the team is walk around the estate and just do outreach and talk to young people and just let them know we're a presence, we're there, you know. So it is difficult, but we're trying to counteract it from the earliest point rather than looking at it from the end of the spectrum. There's obviously a lot of organisations doing work, you know, Red Thread and things like that, doing that when people are victims of crime and violence as well. So they're doing that work. There's limits to what we can do, and we know what we're good at. So doing the outreach work, getting them into the centre, doing that work, and getting them to think about careers between those formative years of 7 and 13. Then at 13, when they pick their options, they're like, you know what, I want to do a apprenticeship in tech. So this is what I'm going to do for my options in school. So they can have a succession of progression, going forward. And that's what a lot of us didn't have. You know, you had careers advisors and they'll just be like, yeah, you could be good at this, or you could be... it was just random. Like, at random. It wasn't really like personable. It wasn't like, this is what we can do for you, or this is what you should do, or this is what you're good at. And that's what we're trying to change in Mentivity, but really embracing tech. We've got Avanade, another corporate partner. They've given us 30 laptops as well to really create a program where we can introduce young people to coding and cybersecurity. And then we've got another program called Convert to Tech, which is for 16 to 30-year-olds. So it's not just about young people, it's about upskilling the wider community and those that want to change their careers as well. You could be 29 and Mentivity House is open to you, and you could then go into apprenticeship and then go into cybersecurity and then be earning 30, 40K you know, after training. And that's what we need to do, is create economic equity in our communities. And I think we mentioned that, we'd spoken that before, but this is, for me, how we do that.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, then we keep the money in our communities. And then people can actually stay in those communities and actually live in those communities, rather than be moved out to Rochester, Newcastle, Gateshead, because they can't afford to live in London. So we need to now have a workforce which is reflective of what London is, and who we need to serve and who we need to empower economically. And that's, I think, the best way to do it.
There is obviously organic counselling that you offer to the young children, right? Just through the daily activities that they do this and next, right?
Yeah.
Is there any professional counselling available? If it is that one of them comes up to you and communicates something absolutely like wild to you.
Yeah, you have to, because you have a duty of care. From a safeguarding perspective, if a young person says something which showcases that they're in harm or have had experience of harm, then we need to speak to the relevant agencies. But we don't have that on site. But what we're trying to do is get more funds to have that on site. So we have a therapist, and then even for the staff, clinical supervision, which is important, because the things that we talk about with young people, or we learn about in terms of experiences of things that go really wrong with young people, you know, in school, in society, it can be very traumatic, and sometimes we can internalize that. You know, and that's very difficult. So there's a lot that needs to be done around the therapy and the clinical supervision, and making sure that we're actually recovering for some of the trauma, because we can do all the great work in the world, but then if within you haven't solved or resolved that trauma, how are you going to move forward? So it's a lot, but there's limits to what Mentivity can do, and I have to be realistic with that, because with my heart, I want to do everything, but I can't do everything, because if you do everything, you're going to do nothing. So we have to be very specific.
So I see you've already raised 14K.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that fundraiser, please.
Yeah, it's a campaign, Reclaim the Block. So we've got to reclaim the block, but also the hearts and the minds of young people, which is important, and the wider community. So we're trying to raise £1 million to support Mentivity over the next 3 years at a minimum. But obviously we've got other funding streams, but this is really important because we want to make sure that Mentivity House survives, and that's the most important thing. So as well as tasking the local authority, getting money from them, etc., we're also asking the community to be invested in that. And it's really important for us to reclaim these spaces, because often these youth clubs and these spaces are just dilapidated. They're horrible. Like they're dingy, and then they end up being decommissioned, and then we have to move and find another space. We can't be doing that anymore. We should have the new spaces which are being regenerated. But also, as I said, running Mentivity House, when you start talking about business rates, all these different things, utilities, I'm like, what's this? Like, no one told me about this. So you got to raise the funds for that. And that's why there's so much that goes into running this community space. And that Mentivity House is no different. But yeah, it's been a learning curve, but we're trying to reclaim the block. But also with the Labour manifesto, they've said they're going to invest 100 million to youth services. So we're going to hold them to account and make sure that we're on their case and showcase the importance of these youth spaces and what they can do to counteract the issues that we're facing in terms of young people, violence, special educational needs, all the problems that we're facing in our community. And I feel that youth clubs, if we have more Mentivity houses in different communities, then we can actually start to claw back and reclaim the block in a good way. So we then police ourselves rather than allow ourselves to be policed in the way that we have been, and which does nothing for us, just further criminalizes us and further traumatizes us.
I agree, man.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something, because obviously, I'm assuming you obviously got certain KPIs for Mentivity, right?
Yeah.
But how do you measure the impact of Mentivity?
So I should have brought Tian on. So Tian's our Chief of Impact and Operations. A second mention for her now on the podcast. So Tian's been amazing. She's came on board November 2022, and she's transformed the organisation in terms of the impact and evaluation. And yeah, just been phenomenal. So yeah, we have a number of different KPIs based on different contracts that we have. Like for example, with Goldman Sachs, we've got a whole different set of criteria that we need to implement and make sure that we achieve. But for us, it's about the impact, the long-term impact of the young people, because sometimes this work, you might do something with that young person and you're not going to see a change for 12 months. And then one day they're like, oh, you know what, Sayce? You said that to me last year in March. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get it now. And then they start changing their trajectory because what young people don't see, when you're young, you got that youthful exuberance and you think, I'm invincible, I can do this, you know what I mean? Like, when children are talking about respawning, I'm like, respawning? Like, what are you talking about? He was dead. Like, what's this reality that you're living? But you got to understand that that's how they think and that's what they see. So you've got to just be consistent with those young people and make sure that we see those outcomes. And I just had a young man yesterday. He's got an apprenticeship with Bloomberg. We started working with him in 2016.
Oh,
He
wow.
went through so many different ups and downs. So 8 years later, this guy's now ready for apprenticeship at Bloomberg.
Sick.
In ICT, just like my son.
Sick.
So again, you sometimes won't see the actual outcomes then, and social outcomes are very hard to measure.
This is
So
what I was going to ask you, because I guess like you said, somebody just saying to you, 12 months later, what you said to me back then, it changed my life. And maybe just leaving and you're not seeing them for like 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you kind of show that to somebody who's funding?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you are changing people's lives.
Good question. So we've got a new database called Mentivity. So Mentivity is our basically one-stop shop for everything that we do with young people. So what we're looking to do is have an app so that young people can have access to the app and have basically support from a mentoring perspective on the app, but also they can do supported AI learning. So if they want to do an apprenticeship, they can go and do it themselves and teach themselves. So we've got something called Genie IE, which basically it creates a course. So I could do it right now. So if you said, okay, I want to create a course for podcasting for the new black, literally, it would create in like literally 60 seconds. And then it can be accredited. So what we want to do is have a one-stop shop where young people are utilizing this app routinely, and then we know, okay, they're engaging in that area.
Yeah.
Data is now a commodity.
Yeah.
So we have to now utilize the app and this database to say, look, this young person's journey from the age of 7 up to 17 or to 26 has been this. There's the data. There you go. And that satisfies our funding criteria.
Gosh, y'all are so smart at Mentivity.
man.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying.
I think what's important is, I think with young people, like when you said about the story of the guy from like 2016 and like 8 years later now, this is why you can't disappoint them, as in you can't come in and out of their lives.
Yeah.
So you have to be reliable. Like, what is the people that are part of your team, what is the vetting process for that?
Oh yeah, it has to be very robust because we have to protect young people. We have to protect the reputation of Mentivity.
Yeah.
We built this reputation over 8.5 years, and everybody will say that we've had an impact and done great work. And all it takes is one thing for that to just go down the drain, especially as a black-led organisation. So we have to make sure that we're vetting people with the DBSs, but we're routinely on top in terms of training, safeguarding as well. And the organisation's changed, in the last 18 months. My wife's just come on as Chief Strategy Officer.
Sick.
We've got Leon Wright, who's also co-founder and my friend of 26 years. He's the Chief Community Officer. So we're all growing and evolving, but I really push myself and then also push the team to make sure that we're improving day after day. Resting on our laurels in this area, like you're just going to be dead. Like you're just not going to progress. So making sure the team, that's communicated down to the team in terms of the strategy. Like no one taught me to be a CEO. No one taught me to be a leader. I've had to learn, on the job. And 8.5 years of doing this, I've managed to make sure that this organisation has survived during austerity.
Come on.
Which is mad. And someone said it to me the other day and I was like, you know what? That's actually mad. Like we've actually done it. And we've got 14 staff now, soon to be 17 staff, which is crazy. So when today's payday, that's like the most stressful day. So,
That's like you said free labour. Look at you.
Volunteers, willing volunteers. But it's mad. So I feel that now we're in a really good space now, especially with the new government. And again, holding to account is important, and we need to be very vocal, and that's what the campaign Reclaim the Block is about. And I think we all need to get behind that. If we can get behind that, we can make enough noise to make sure that we don't experience what we did over the last 14 years, the Tories.
Yeah, even like with the mindset though, the people that come on board, like how do you? Because to do what you do, you've got to have great heart. You've got to be passionate, but it can't just be a job. It can't just be something that you're trying to do as like a good deed for the day. You have to have the heart for it. So like, do you have how do you gauge that? Do you have conversations with them? Do you, what do you look for?
Yeah, it's different now because where we're at as an organisation, we've got recruitment processes and we've got a whole process that we've got to go through. So putting the job on charity jobs and stuff like that, doing a whole vetting process. But before, it was literally me headhunting people and just saying, look, I've worked with you, I know what you're about, and I know you're invested, so I want you as part of this team. Yeah. And, I would be totally honest, like we pay very well at Mentivity, and I want to make sure that people are rewarded for their hard work. Because routinely when you work in this space, you don't earn enough money. If you're a teacher, most teachers have second jobs if you're not an SLT. So you're having to do all these different things to make sure you survive. Like I've always had 2-3 jobs working in this sector. And just before I set up Mentivity, I got to the point I was like, "This is long. I can't live. I can't sustain because I'm working Monday to Friday, then I'm coaching on Saturday and Sunday. Then where's the time for me?" And it just wasn't sustainable. Literally. So that's what we're trying to do, is break the mold in this, because this work is very valuable. It's invaluable, should I say. So I want to make sure the staff are rewarded. So before it's more headhunting, and that's been the core of the team, and obviously teams will evolve, but now it's really just recruiting and doing the interview process, which is a little bit more difficult, because people will show you what, you know,
They want you to see,
yeah,
of course.
exactly
Yeah,
that.
the best foot forward,
So so it's a bit of a mad one, but yeah, we've got, you know, good people and good judge of character, and hopefully we'll get it right, but we have to get it right, and we will get it right.
Will.
So yeah, so,
Amazing, man.
yeah, it's all good.
Change is pretty much inevitable, right? And you guys have had to, I guess, evolve to be here, like you said, to survive austerity.
Yeah.
Has your philosophy on mentorship changed? And if it has, in what way?
From what perspective?
Just in terms of, I guess, your approach. So, for example, like you just mentioned, before you were headhunting, now you got to do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Maybe in the beginning you thought I could do X, Y, and Z. Now you realize, you know, I can only do X and Y. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's changed? Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a good question, because, as I said, the organisation's evolving, and even with people, like turnover of people, stuff like that, you need different levels of expertise to get to the next level.
Yeah.
So headhunting Tian, for example, was important, because I knew with her track record working at other organisations, what she did. She ran a programme, you know, and got funded for £1 million to run this programme. So I was like, that's what I need, because although I might have the capacity to do it, I don't have the time, because I need to go out there and do what I need to do. So then what we're doing is that we're actually recruiting people from within, in terms of young people that we might be working with, and saying, you know what, you've got a bit of potential. Like, do you want to come and work on a summer camp, and then we pay you, or you come get involved and sit on an interview? So we've got like a young lady, Khalees, who was on our program in 2020 during lockdown. It was an online program, the Raising Aspirations Project, and she was like proper on photography, and we really pushed her, and now she's like fully fledged photographer, like getting paid. She's our official photographer, but she also sits on our interviews. So she's part of the interview process. You know, so it's important. So there's different roles for different people, you know, at Mentivity. Even our former mentees, a lot of them are ambassadors now. So they're like 23, 24, doing really good in their careers.
Yeah.
And they're now giving time back to
Giving back,
Mentivity.
yeah.
So what we're trying to do is create this kind of environment of routinely giving back, but upskilling the next generation to actually take the mantle from us, because I'm not going to do this forever.
Yeah.
You know, I've probably got about 2 years left running Mentivity, if I'm
so?
honest. Yeah, it'll be 11 years by then. It's a long time, and it, as you said, it does take its toll. You know,
but you're
when
only
Raheem died, like was killed, like I got to a point I was struggling because I'd lost, by that time it was about 11, 12 young people, and I was just like,
You'd lost 11, 12?
yeah. Raheem was the first one that was shot. The rest of them were stabbed.
Damn,
The first one was 2008, a young man called Lyle Tulloch. And I worked with him at People Referring It in Peckham. And when he was stabbed around the Rockingham estate in Elephant and Castle, it broke my heart. Like, just going to, that's the first experience of losing a young person that I worked with. And then it just became routine. And it gets to the point where you're just like, oh man, like, I need to now seek some help and do that. And that's what I had to do. But yeah, 11 years of doing the same thing. Not saying that it's not important work.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to disappear and
No,
leave
but
it.
I'll
be on the board, like, because
Yeah,
obviously we're
yeah.
a charity now as well. So we've got the limit company, CRC, and a charity. So yeah, there's limits to what I can do. And also, it's one, like, running something for 11 years, someone else has got to do it at some point, you know, and I can influence it in different ways and raise the profile of Mentivity in different ways and raise money.
Yeah.
But I'm really on the documentaries now. That's what I want to do. I want to make
Love that.
documentaries.
For the executive producer
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
The director next.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you then, like, what's your long-term, like, goals if you're leaving, potentially, in some ways, Mentivity?
I don't, you know what, leaving Mentivity is the wrong thing to say.
Okay, cool.
I wouldn't leave Mentivity. I think the role would evolve, and it would be opportunity for someone else to come and guide it. And again, I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to make sure that this is a legacy for the next 40, 50, 60 years, that this is continuing to run. I feel that I want to do other things to raise the profile of Mentivity and can be an ambassador, which I am every single day, and talk about Mentivity in everything that I do. Yep. So I think I can do it in that way, but I feel that I can really showcase to other people that the importance of giving back through this philosophy that is Mentivity on a global stage. And I've got aspirations of setting up in Kenya. I've done work in Kenya, you know, in other spaces as well, like even Barbados, Jamaica. I think Mentivity as a philosophy is about community, and it's about upskilling our communities and actually looking at our problems, you know, looking within and saying individually, I need to look at what I need to do to improve myself. If I do that, now you've done that, now we can come together and then work together to really uplift our community. So I think that I want to do more work around documentaries and looking at communities, and even like this Reclaim the Block campaign, you know, similar to Quadro, who's doing the housing.
Yeah, Quadro housing.
Yeah, listen, it's amazing. So I want to do more around that and uplift communities and showcase what's going on and through documentaries and be really impactful, like, you know, the centre with Adeyemi, and he's the only person that I'll do it with, to be honest. And he's very interested around doing a lot more because we're storytellers, you know, and that's what's important. And he's got the vision. I can, you know, fulfill with the narrative. And we're just a really good team.
Great team.
So I'm really excited about doing something like that as well. So, yeah.
I feel like sometimes somebody may be thinking, you know, I want to do this. I want to help give my time to Mentivity or another organisation like Mentivity.
Yeah.
But I don't have the skills. Like, does Mentivity kind of have something in place to train?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a training course which is going to be accredited by City and Guild. So it's called the Workforce Upskilling. So really, it teaches young professionals and professionals how to really implement our philosophy around the principles of youth work in terms of informal education. So learning through conversation and enlarging the experience of young people, and that's a true driver of youth work. So we look at different things and how informal education can be used through positive activities to really upskill young people. Also the language, you've got different things like philosophies like Hart's ladder of participation, from tokenism to fully fledged, like being involved, you know, so all these different concepts, Thompson's PCS theory, so looking at things from a personal, cultural and structural perspective. So we've got that, which we're running with the Mayor of London for the Future Ready initiative, which is a transition programme, mentoring and physical activity for year 6 is going to year 7. So we're running that as well. So we're doing that for the Mayor of London, for the GLA, the Greater London Assembly. So where Mentivity seeks to go is really have a training arm. So we go into schools and then we basically train teachers around our philosophy. So we're actually now shaping what that looks like in schools rather than just working with the young people. We've got the young people, we've got the teachers, and at some point they're going to have to meet in the middle with the concepts that we're then implementing in the school. So that's really what we want to do around the training arm, and then obviously apprenticeships and stuff like that. And to make sure we're sustainable. So we have to be. So there's always money for training in schools. You know, they'll pay X amount for inset day. I've seen people come in and deliver sessions at inset days and they're getting 5 bags. And I'm like, hold on, this
And it's
session
a
was
very
10
silly session.
and it was
I would have rather been a mess.
and I sit there and I'm vexed and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So why shouldn't we be in that conversation
Absolutely.
when we've got that expertise, because there's money is out there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's mad. So we're evolving and we're knowing that we have to embrace technology, training and different things, not just the mentorship of young people, but also in the boardroom level as well, and you know, have that influence. So
Because I feel like there's people out there, adults, who feel like, you know, I've got time. I'm single. I'm not yet married. This and the third. I can give a Saturday. I can give. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But feel like, but what do I say to these kids?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we've got a whole like bank of sessions and stuff like that, so we can train people up how to deliver if they want to come in, be volunteer mentors. Really, what I want to do is bring back the Saturday school. So a different type of Saturday school, which gives young people a sense of pride around who they are and what they come from and where they are right now, but also with the added touch of Mentivity and our philosophy. So that's the plan. So all these things cost money, but also we have to work in conjunction with other community organisations. So the space isn't just for Mentivity. It's for other organisations. So we've got Active Communities Network, who've helped us to capacity build over the last 8 years. And that's run by a guy called Ollie Rahman, and a guy I've worked with in the community, and he's lived in the community and he's doing great stuff. Then you've got Inspires, another youth club. They don't have a space at the moment. So I'm now going to speak to their CEO and be like, look, you want to do a youth club on a Wednesday night? So we've got to showcase community as an organisation and working in collaboration. Like even a guy walked past the other day, saw the table tennis table. He's in his mid-50s, and he was like, "We've been looking for a table. We've got a table tennis club, but we've got no table." I'm like, "Well, can you teach young people how to play table tennis?" He's like, "Yeah, I was an Olympian for Nigeria." I was like, "No way!"
No way.
Now I'm like, "Cool. Can you run that for the young people? Then I'll give you the space." So like a barter system.
sick.
So like, I'll give you the space for 3 hours in the evening if you come and do a table tennis club on that day. And that's how we encourage people to have
That's beautiful.
use their skill sets in different ways. And we had a lady, an auntie, come in and say, "Look, I can cook, I can do this, and I can bake. Come and teach the children how to bake. But can you do a big pot of jollof rice, some chicken and some stew
Absolutely,
for the young
necessary.
people?" So after school, when they're leaving school, because that's the most important time, between 3:15 and 6:30 p.m. is when a lot of the violence happens with young people, because they're on the street congregating, nowhere to go. So we want to make sure that they've got a safe space where they can come to and get a hot meal, especially during the winter. And when it's dark, just come and chill. You know, you've got free Wi-Fi, which is provided by Sky, so big up Sky.
Sick.
So on the Sky Up program, so we've got all that and some technology. So there's loads of things for young people to do, but it's about how we implement that over time, and that's the real challenge. So, yeah.
Sick, man.
Do you think it's an issue like trying to get young people through the door, or do you think they just need to know about it? And once they know about it,
Yeah.
then
yeah.
they just can come in.
It's a challenge getting different young people through the door. Because what you do, you get your core regulars, which you've already got. So we started, 3-4 weeks ago?
Yes.
We had 18 young people. The following week, we had 41.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, and then yesterday, I think we had
I'm
about...
sending Snapchat broadcasts. Love that for them.
That's what we should do, exactly. Got to get on there, TikTok as well.
Literally.
But yeah, I think we had close to 35 yesterday, so it's good,
amazing.
consistent numbers, but that's only one day, and there's still more to do, and there's still more outreach to do. So we want to make sure that we've got probably like the 8-year-olds to 12-year-olds, then we've got the 13 to 19-year-olds and 19. Because young people now they've got extended adolescence. If you think about, you know, 28, 29, like they're not 28, 29-year-olds of, you know, year 2000. They're totally
I feel 35, I tell you that for free. I don't feel like a 29-year-old. I feel like I'm pushing 40 at this point.
Well, I'm 41, so what was that? But yeah, no, it's important. So, but you guys have to come down, come check it out.
No, definitely.
And then when we get the podcast studio, maybe we can do something there as well.
Sweet, that'd be really
you know,
fun.
Brent, we could use your expertise.
Masterclass.
Yeah, masterclass, and that's what they want to see.
Really
You know,
fun,
because bring closer to what's actually going on in their community. So.
That'd be sick, man.
And then so the Mentivity house is open every single day.
So we're open every single day, but the youth club is open on Monday. So yesterday was the last one for the summer because we've got bank holiday. So
yes.
we're resuming on the 9th of September because we've got team weeks for team training on the first week in September. And then we're looking to basically get a youth club on a Wednesday and a Friday evening as well. And then on a Tuesday and Thursdays, we're looking at apprenticeships and really training up and supporting young people and the wider community as well. So it's going to take some time to get there, but yeah, hopefully when I come back next time, then we'll be fully...
No, you will do it.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Last
inshallah.
time you were going to build, now you built. So the only way is up.
I'm already thinking about the next building. My wife is like, bro,
Love
just
that.
chill, man. Like, literally, like, we've just got this one. I'm already talking about a next space and stuff, but...
Do you welcome anyone in there, or is it like a catchment thing?
No, we welcome everyone, yeah.
So
Literally.
from any area they can come
Any
in?
area. It's a place and space for all, and that's important. That's what we've got to break down those barriers, because what we want to do is connect with other youth clubs in other areas, and then take them to those youth clubs and do events. So whether it's like football, we go out to Fort Park, whatever it is. Because that's the problem, is if you don't know these young people from different areas, you just think, oh, you know, I'm isolated. And a lot of them are going through the same thing. So there's a lot to do, but there also is a risk involved with some young people, the way that they...
Youth clubs are dangerous, man.
They can be.
Can be.
No,
Yeah.
it
Depends
is.
which ones, though.
I want to put like a space together in that, but it's like these. It does depend which one and what kind of youth you're reaching out to. But the ones that need it,
Yeah.
do you get what I'm trying to say? Like the ones that need it, the ones that come from where I come from, it's tougher for them to have a youth club, because them sitting in the same place and being in the same place every day, and everyone knowing where they are and where they're going to be and what time and all that kind of stuff. That's dangerous. You know what I'm trying to say? Obviously, the other kids in the community who are obviously they're exposed to it, but they're not like living that kind of life. They need something to do too.
Yeah.
So it's good for them, lot, because then they'll be all right. They're not whenever necessarily have to worry about those kind of things because they're not wrapped up in it. You get what I'm trying to say? But then even then, you could be there, but then some of the local boys from the thing find out about it and they start hanging around there. Then everybody knows this is a spot where they hang. Then when other people are coming into the area looking for people to be okay, well, let's slide past the youth club, see who's there, stuff like that. These are the things that I think about all the time, because people need them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
it is a risk. Yeah.
it's in the community. It's tough. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. What side are you from?
I'm from Hackney.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, I mean,
That's what that'll do it.
listen, it's one and the same. Do you know what I mean? Because Bobby Kasanga said one. I don't know if he's still running it, but again, the need is there for young people. But it's how we reach those young people that are already involved in that, and it is a difficult thing. But if we don't do something, then nothing's going to change. And that's what I feel, is that we have to take the risk. And if something does happen, because it happened in Brixton at the Marcus Lipton Centre, that's another youth club where a young person got stabbed there. And it just showcased that we need to revamp what we do. So they had to change the security, and we've got to take these precautions. But if we think about what the minority are doing in our communities and stop doing what we should be doing, then we're never going to see the change that we want. So these things might happen on the street, but the minute it happens to a youth club, now it's the youth club's fault. Well, no. So when it happens on the street, whose fault is it?
Whose fault was it then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
What do you
messed
think-
up, man. No, 'cause I'm just thinking like the balance, like man, want to like the spaces, like you want to put it where the people that are gonna need it
Yeah.
is, but those areas are the worst areas. So it's like, so then what do you do then?
You know what? One of the things when I remember youth club back in the day, because all this badness was happening back in the day, but people knew when they came to the youth club that couldn't happen because the respect that they had for that space,
for the people,
and for the people, you know, especially
mentors, that's what I'm
because
thinking, yeah.
you know those youth workers back in the day, and they tell you something one time, and man's like, all right, you know, it's cool, like squash it, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it because they got that respect. We're missing that in society in terms of how young people see adults as well. It's a massive breakdown because they think they can talk to us like we're on the same age and the same level. It's like, brother, no.
I want to try and give them something that they like themselves, so they can police it for themselves. Something that they see value in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say, so they
they're building the kind of thing.
they build it. So it's like, look, we're not doing this here. This
is different.
This benefits everybody. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it with studio spaces. I think.
Yeah.
I want to give that like free studio spaces. Let's
talk, man. Let's talk. If I can support in any way.
Oh yeah, 100%. We need to have a conversation then, because that's what obviously if I can mix a blend like the studio spaces and the youth club and whatnot, and they can use it for free, totally full on access and stuff like that. That'll be sick. But then again, I'm just saying. But it's like, where do you put that though? Like,
it's a mad one because if we don't do it, then as I said, we're not going to see any difference. But I think what you said is very like important, giving them the ownership, because you're giving the responsibility and say, look, if this messes up, unfortunately, it's going to be on you guys because I'm giving you that responsibility. So if you give them that responsibility, some are going to step up. A lot of them are going to step up. And especially the leaders in those groups, they'll be like, nah, listen, this ain't happening. Because this is a space for my little brother or sister, or for us if we want to go in. It's a sanctuary. They don't have that anymore. You know what I mean? It's that fear of always being on road, like always looking over your shoulder. Like that's stressful, man. So I know it can happen, but it's something that's been allowed to happen over the last 20, 25 years. You think about what youth clubs were like when we were growing up. Like you went to a youth club in Hackney. What was it like?
it was just calm, really. But you know what it was though, because times have changed. It was a different time then, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so there's because I could picture us walking from where we are all the way up down to Lower Clapton to go to the youth club, to go buck, man. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But obviously, those times we was younger, it's only a bit of fisticuffs and that. It's not. It's not like we're going to go shoot the place
My
up.
uncle used to live literally Lower Clapton Road.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Go down to myself.
So it's just a little. So, but that's still the same kind of mentality though. Because if it was a different time, we'll be going. We'll be going to shoot the place up. But we were just going to punch up. So it's like, okay, cool, it's fine. But that sentiment was still kind of there. But the youth clubs were like, they were like a little haven, like a little, like just a cool place where you can go, kick it after school, do stuff, play pool, link your brethrens. They were dope.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to sit in a youth club now.
If you were in that life,
yeah.
You know, I was looking at him like, first of all, that guy
Stop being.
should be in there volunteering and working. That's why you don't want to sit in a youth club.
That should be the janitor, isn't it?
What do you mean this is?
No, I'm saying if I was in that lifestyle now, I don't know if I want to sit in the youth club.
Yeah. But then there has to be some sort of outreach work that needs to be done with those young people.
That's the thing.
And that's the problem, is that when you look at the youth justice services and stuff like that, a lot of them are not clued on in terms of what's going on. We had someone that's working for us who's leaving Mentivity tomorrow, but he headed up our youth justice service with offer with Croydon Council. And what he was doing, and he's actually my cousin, Carl, what he was doing was amazing work because he was totally embedded. But also he had to give him options because these young people were used to making money on road. And he was like, well, you got to look at an internship here or recruitment consultancy, all these different things based on what they wanted and they needed. And it just changed their whole mindset because they don't want the stress. Like these young people don't want the stress
enjoy it, man.
of having to go to make money and knowing that you've done like 100 hours a week and you've got £200. That's not worth it. It's not worth it. So why would you put the effort into something where you know you can earn without the stress? Every young person pretty much, unless they love that life, will be like, you know what, I've got to reconsider what I'm doing. And it's the options. A lot of them don't have those options and they don't have those people closer to them. So I feel that work can be done out of youth clubs if you really say, look, this is like the Mandem section that you need to come here and there's going to be different type of work here. And that's the challenge and that's what's difficult. But I know we can do it at Mentivity House and other spaces as well.
What do you think the need, like what is the need, why is youth clubs needed? I think for me when I hear conversations about youth clubs, because I didn't grow up here, it's such a foreign like concept to me. It's such a, it's like a weird conversation for me.
Yeah.
So what is the reason for the need for them?
Well, you know what? I'm going to go back a little bit of history about the origins.
Okay.
Because it actually started off in East London.
Okay.
So it was called ragged schools. So ragged schools were for people that weren't able to access education, who couldn't pay. So basically the poor people.
Yeah.
So ragged schools were literally the precursor to youth clubs or to scouts.
Okay.
So you had a guy called Robert Baden-Powell, who was the father of the scouts. Apparently he's got a bit of a tainted history. But then you had the scouts, and the scouts then gave birth to the youth clubs and stuff. So it's a very uniquely British kind of outlook.
Okay.
You think about youth clubs, you don't think about any other country other than here.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But it's important because it allows young people to move from a youth work perspective from dependence to interdependence.
Okay.
With trusted individuals who are actually very skilled at navigating the issues that young people are facing through different means. For whether it's activities are the byproduct. The conversations that you have with the young people is the most important thing, because they hold far more weight, because you've got someone with a lot more experience who's from the area, who understands what you've gone through, and they're sharing their experiences. And you just build that rapport over and over again and be like, you know what, I trust this person. And why we see what we're seeing in communities, because young people don't trust adults. They don't trust teachers. They don't trust them.
That's a psychological thing though, because Taser was talking about a few episodes ago on Free Shots, and he was talking about some like psychologists basically found that between a certain age, that puberty stage, that the way kids are, like the people they trust the most, that they would give their life to, is their friends, is their peers. But like every other person, especially like when it's like the parents, stuff like that, it's like you're an op, because they just their brain is just like, you don't understand what I'm dealing with, you don't understand me at all. So that's why like their friends the friends they have can make or break them for the future at that age.
So there's a book I read called The Teenage Brain. It was a recommended book when my son, well, he's still a teenager, but when he was about 13. And I read it and it was so like interesting. So anyone's got children or young people that are, The Teenage Brain is a really good book, because it showcases that teenagers, they exhibit the most risk-taking behaviors and decisions that they make because they want that dopamine. And they can't see the long-sighted impact of what they're going to do. So like, you know what? Oh, yeah, you can't smoke 20 a day. I don't care. Like, I'm invincible. I'm 13. I'm going to live forever. And then they keep smoking and they get sick and like, right, you're actually right. And now, because if you can't hear, then you must feel. So that's where it is sometimes with young people. But their adolescent minds are formulating so many different boundaries. And Taze was talking about when I was on Free Shots around the film, was it Inside Out 2?
Yes.
And literally all the different
I
emotions.
love that film so much.
I need to watch it now. I need to watch
the little
it.
emojis, and it's all to do with emotions that are in, like when you're going through puberty, it's all of that, and just how they're just beefing, and it's
so it's irregular. So if you imagine, you don't practice making decisions, so you don't realize what the outcomes are. So you get to 18, and then we're like, all right, cool. So now you got to make a decision. Where you're going to live, what college you're going to go to, what university you're going to do, what bank account you're going to get. And some people are going to be stressed. They're like, no, I'm not doing this. Like,
it is overwhelming. The jump is crazy.
Yeah, and then they look at adults who are supposed to help them to get to that point and be like, I don't trust you. Whether you're my mum, I don't trust you because you haven't prepared me for this. And then I don't trust you now, so I don't trust that person, that teacher. You're all ops in my mind. So I'm going to trust my friends because I feel that they've got my best interests at heart. But it's all around acceptance. Young people want to be accepted. They want to feel like, you know what, this is my group. They got my back until they realize otherwise. So even with my son, if I'm saying certain things to him, I know in his mind he's like, bruv, just shut up.
Just please, man. It's like, free me.
But then he realizes down the line, oh, you know what? You have my best interests at heart, but I've got to be consistent. A lot of adults are just inconsistent. So what does that do to you? You've had inconsistent people in your lives, right? How do you feel towards them now?
I don't talk to them.
Exactly. So imagine young people, they don't know how to not talk to them. Like, no, I'm going to punch you up. I'm going to do this because that's the only way I've been taught to react. You know, in these situations. So when you're seeing young boys and girls acting out like, no, but shut up talking to an adult. I'm like, hold on, wait. This is mad to me.
It's very wild.
But they just have a real lack of trust of adults. So The Teenage Brain is a really good book, and it just showcases the importance of really getting young people to practice making decisions, and then in a safe, curated environment, because you have to give them that power and you have to give them that trust, because if you don't entrust them with your trust, they're gonna be like, well, you don't trust me, so I don't trust myself, they don't trust me, so I don't care.
That's where you get the full self-fulfilling prophecy and stuff, and then how they so basically it's like, okay, because I used to think like youth clubs was like for kids from like difficult homes and just something for them to do after school, and like So it's not necessarily that, it's just essentially like a mentoring thing then.
Yeah, it's a mentoring, but it's also about community. You're building
Yeah.
community from a very early stage. So you've got these young people now who see other young people who are their friends or not their friends on a regular basis. And it builds community. Like when we had the adventure playground at Burgess Park, we had the building for a while.
Yeah.
But like Reece Nelson that used to go there all the time when he was young, and I was talking to him the other day, he's like, bruv, what's going on? Like, that is like my childhood. Like that raised me, that youth club raised me. After school, that was my after school club. Between 3 and 6, I was there every day. My brother worked there, my sister worked there. So even for him now as a 24-year-old, he's just like, that was me. That was that helped me get to where I am today.
Yeah.
And that's the common theme in the center in the film is that you got Buck talking about I wouldn't be the person I am today without youth clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Even
you got
it's
Femi
banter,
saying,
like, yeah.
you're like I wouldn't even have this band if I
Even the
didn't.
people that you met,
Right. And,
Yeah,
and that's what's important. And we have to build community with young people and showcase that. And if we don't do that, the same things that are happening now is because there's a lack of familiarity in our communities.
You know, it's just a lack of options in the communities as well, because I don't necessarily remember like youth clubs being like a big part of my upbringing,
Yeah.
but I remember having the option.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
I remember having the option to go, because I've been to youth clubs.
yeah,
You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
having the option to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And I remember like youth clubs and them kind of things, they're cool because certain times you don't know like what everybody's situation is, but there's certain times where you can go, that experience you can go and get from the youth club, you can't get at home. In a sense of,
Exactly.
they might have Monopoly at the youth club.
well, you don't have
And
that,
you ain't got Monopoly there,
yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? You like Monopoly, like when you go there, you want to go there, you're gonna go and play it. Or certain people ain't got like game consoles, and there's a computer there. You can, and one evening a week or whatever, I would go there, think I can get on, I can go and play my pro, and boom, boom, boom. When I go home, I ain't got that.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So having the options at least is. Like at the very least, they kind of need it so they can experience things like. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it's not necessarily for people that are say like vulnerable or whatever. But if you are vulnerable and you're not in a good household and your parents ain't on point and stuff like that, that could be a little escape because now they're just gonna go and walk down the street and kicking cans down the street. There's nothing to do, and
then get recruited by the man. Then be like, oh, come, you want some chicken?
you get what I'm saying? So I think it's important just to have the option there because it's like even though people always say it's true, like there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
You get me?
Especially now, children don't play out. They don't play out.
They can't, man.
When
I'll
I
be
was
honest with
saying
you.
that, I went through Stamford Hill the other day. Obviously, it's a Jewish community and stuff like that, but they live different over there, you know.
Of course, bro.
As in the kids
They're
were
on
out.
police. That's why.
The kids are on the
They police
streets.
themselves.
They're having a good time.
exactly.
No, like alone.
Yes.
Like just walking and
Yeah.
stuff.
But that's a-
Yeah.
No
And, like,
stranger danger, nothing like that.
Yeah, like could just like enjoy the and it felt so old school. I felt like I used to live like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like the doors in the streets were open, that we could walk around, kids playing, no chaperoning, not worrying about nothing. I was like, oh, this is mad.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even know they still do this.
Yeah.
They don't.
Like, out here, like, I didn't know that was a
The
thing.
typical kid
I thought kids were supposed to be inside.
The kids are inside.
Well, our kids in our communities. But what have
Yes.
they done? They've created an environment where their children can be safe.
Feel
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, safe.
There's
Exactly.
certain areas I go to and I'm seeing children walking themselves to school and they're like 7, 8 and I'm like, this is mad.
Yeah, because I used to do that. I used to go to primary school
Right,
from
exactly,
like 7,
that.
8 and that.
And that's why I say we've got a lot to answer for, man. That we as adults we have a lot to answer for. If our young people can't walk from here to here and be safe, or our women, you know, with all the femicide and all the stabbings that's going on, like it's this copycat culture. You know, unfortunately, people that are really ill. There's a lot of really ill people who can't access the services. So just across the board, now, and even Marks, the way you're talking about youth clubs, I could see the joy in your face. You see what I'm saying? No, it's not.
That's why I said, oh, if I was in there. Okay, babes.
But that's what it is, and
Yeah.
it brings back those core memories and stuff. And it actually, there's a lot you can learn from those spaces. And youth clubs and youth work gets a bad rap because people look at it like, you just turn up and there's a lot of thought that goes into it. Like you have to be an educator in so many different ways. You have to have knowledge about so many different things. So then when that young person says to you, oh yeah, and I'm like, right, yeah, I saw this on the news, or and that builds that rapport because you might miss that opportunity with that young
need to connect
person
with them.
and they'll be like, oh, he's a waste man. Like, do you know what I mean? And he's done.
Just
So-
even the dedication though. So them places like them youth clubs are open every day, and some days might be dead in there. Some days might be empty.
You still gotta
and
show
nothing
up.
going on. But the brother who's running his youth club or the woman or whatever, they're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
You don't know
They're
who's
there
gonna show
every
up.
day,
They're
yeah.
there every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
man.
get me? Come hell or high water. Like and that dedication is serious. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's different. You need someone to be prepared to be selfless like that and
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that
yeah,
and go through their day. Because I'm guessing they work and have a job and do whatever they're doing. They come out at evening time and go to the youth club, set it up and then still and again, even though it's all like it's not like just like harmonious and like that. They probably got to put up with these youths being rude to them and that and like you know what I'm saying? It's not like just
The
it's
kids
not like
having arguments.
some kumbaya.
Stupid for you.
They're gonna be hey, put that back up. Shut up, man. It's like,
Okay.
I feel like I'm becoming that person. I'm now there like most days, and sometimes I just open it up because there's children outside. I'm like, I just don't want you to be out there. Just come inside.
Come inside.
And then there's a young girl. I won't say her name, but she literally was waiting for this youth club to open for about 4 months. Every single day. How long now? How long now? And she's like a real leader. She's only 11.
Wow.
She's fantastic, really fantastic. But you can
That's
see,
beautiful. You see that already.
yeah, but you can see how she can evolve now in this space and how she's, formulating her worldview and stuff. And it's really important. And it's just like yesterday we had Borough 22 Donuts, who's gluten-free, vegan, totally like. So Ryan Pancho, big up Ryan, he came down to give us some donuts free for the children.
Yes.
And he routinely comes down to Mentivity House and gives us donuts. And amazing donuts. So he came down to give some to the young people yesterday. And like just those little things, like they were like, these donuts are amazing. Like, and it's like, oh, these are gluten-free, these are vegan. Like vegan donuts. Like, they couldn't believe it. But just knowing that people can just drop in.
Indoctrinating the children right early, yeah?
They're actually really good. But just even those things, those little experiences, because you don't know if those children could go to, Borough Market to go and get these donuts because they're pretty expensive. But just those little things and just spending time, like when they ask you for water, like how am I going to begrudge a young person of water? So now I'm buying crisps and making sure, like, if you want something to eat, just come and grab. That's what it is. It's reflective of being in the house. And when they're in there, I'm like, this is your house. This is your yard, so you need to look after it. So when it ends, it's not me cleaning up after. No, you don't clean up. You don't clean up. No, you can't eat in here.
It's like when you go to your friend's house, like you can't. Is the mum gonna come and clean it?
Yeah. Literally that. So it's reflective of
man.
what my household was on the Aylesbury estate, and that's really like this was my dream. My dream was always I studied youth work, so my dream was to be a youth worker, to have my own youth club, and doing this now, I love it. Like if I couldn't be CEO for like 4 weeks, I could just be a youth worker for 4 weeks and just open that club every single day like I would, and that's what we're aiming to do. But just seeing that joy on those young people's faces is the most important thing, and knowing that they want to be there is the best thing, man. That's the best thing.
And God is amazing the way God works, because like imagine you like being young and knowing what it is that you want to do, and by the grace of God, you've lived to then see that, and you've lived, even the kids that you've mentored, you're seeing them now be doing the same things. Like, do you mean like you're seeing generational blessings happen? That's amazing.
No, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And
that's so lovely, man.
If there's anyone that's doing this work and they feel like disillusioned, like, don't give up. Because I nearly did. And it's the best decision, back in 2015, not to give up. And you have to persevere. And if you really want these things, you have to fight for it. And I feel like I've had to do that with my amazing team, day in, day out. But because we have to fight for our communities in a different way. And we can't all just be in survival mode all the time. As I said before, it's good to experience fun, joy, and all these things. And it's time for us, we've enjoyed so much in this country. Like Bashi's song "Made in Britain," that song just talks about the journey of our grandparents here and just what they wanted for us. So all my grandparents are gone now, but that tune really resonated. That whole album resonates with me, actually. It's a really, I think it's an ode to people our age, like between the 30s and 40s. It's really, really important. And I was speaking to him about it, just like, it made me think about how I've got to level up now. And we've gone through so much to get to this point and survived. Imagine what our predecessors, our ancestors have done. Do we want this for our young people? In terms of what experiences we've gone through, I don't want that for them. Yes, they have to be resilient. Yes, we can teach that in a curated environment, but this is the space to do it. Mentivity House is the space to do it. And I want that for all young people and all people in general. To have places where they can congregate and know that this place is going to be taken away because of austerity. We've gone past that now. So inshallah, we'll make sure that we have more Mentivity Houses across London and the UK.
That's what I felt with Darryl Blake the other day when we went on a tour with him, and he was, and he basically
Melody, traced. My guy.
Listen, he took us on a
he
private
played at my
tour.
wedding,
Was he?
Yeah, he played at my wedding. Yeah, there's a good friend. There's a good friend. My wife's good friend. Our good friend. So Melody.
He took us on a tour on weekend, and he traced his ancestry like 9 years back, and to know that like the first his great grandma and whatnot was kidnapped from Calabar, and then to know that she fought to get freedom, and then the person after that fought to get freedom, the person after that fought, and then all the way down to then who he is now, where he talks about Black history the way he does, and he does these tours, and he's so passionate. Like, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's sick, man.
Disconnect. Sorry. Who's Melody?
Daryl Blake.
He plays what?
Daryl Blake, he does his Black History walks, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a DJ. He's a house DJ as well, but
I
he's
never
an
knew that.
educator. Yeah.
Serious?
Proper DJ. Proper. He was up. We got the set. We put it up. We put up on the stories. We
Have
got
you
the
got
set.
receipts? Have you got a video?
Yeah. I got the. He recorded it.
Wow.
Yeah, like proper.
No, Daryl, is a jack of all trades, a master of all of them.
Listen, when I took Shahada, he was at my house. He witnessed me taking Shahada with his partner.
Oh,
so
we got Daryl
he's a
Blake
good
every
friend.
time, man.
He's a good friend. So yeah, he's an amazing person. So
Who is Melody?
that's Daryl Blake.
Daryl Blake.
Yeah.
He's a DJ.
Are you listening?
Well, he's DJ name is Melody.
Yeah, Melody.
Oh, man, I thought you meant Melody like Pussycat Dolls Melody. Like the female name. So I was thinking, so I was like, why
You're the
is
only one
Melody?
I thought that. You're the only one I
Of
thought
course
Pussycat
I am.
Dolls.
I'm always learning my thoughts in this room. But I was like, why are you calling him Melody?
Yeah,
Melody.
Melody.
Mellow.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
like,
There's double
Nah,
meaning there.
okay.
But yeah, so small world. But yeah,
that's beautiful, man.
when you put it in that context, it's really important.
yeah, it
Because
is.
we've all survived something.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we're fighting. Like, even when you were talking about the police and stuff, and I was driving up, and I'm just like, you said, like, sorry, Mark, you said I gave up. I feel like I felt fed up. You know what I mean? And I feel like that a lot of the times. But if we just give up and succumb to those feelings, nothing's ever going to change.
Yeah.
Question though, what was it about 2015 that you wanted to quit, and what made you keep going?
Money. I had no money. Literally, I was working so much. Where was I? I was working for a charity.
Yeah.
And it was my first job after leaving university. I went late, but I literally was working and I had another job. But then they offered me a role and I was like, cool, what's the going rate? And it was decent pay, but then they tried to like shortchange me and then they made me redundant. And I was like, this is long. I'm not doing this anymore. Why am I fighting just to support my community? And I just got to the point where I was like, what else can I do? Like, I've always known how to like sell things and I've always had the gift of the gab, so I always see myself as an entrepreneur. So I was going to go to in-house recruitment for a bank in the city, and I know I would have made money, but I wouldn't have been fulfilled. And then I just thought, you know what, let me take this redundancy, let me try this concept I've created at university, Mentivity. If it doesn't work, then I'll do that. So I thought, let's give it one more shot, and nearly 9 years later, here I am. So yeah,
Wonderful.
it takes a lot. As I said, it takes a lot.
I can imagine, man.
Especially-
Even like, yeah, sorry, go on.
No, especially living where I live on the Ellsbury estate in Peckham. Like, you're dealing with children that have a variety of needs, but also a level of dependency that maybe some other children don't. And I was a football coach for 20, well, I've been a football coach for 26 years, so I was coaching regularly across 2 football clubs. So City of London FC, which my brother founded, and then Gentilly, which my mentor, Abdullah Ben Kamal, founded as well. So I was working across 2 clubs, then working for this charity as well. Wow. So on the weekends, it was all football. During the week, it was community development, and then in the evenings, it was training. So I was in North London like 4 or 5 times a week. And then on a Sunday, I'm taking children on the bus, not minibus, on the actual bus, to Addiscombe to play football. Like, man was committed, and I was just tired, and I wasn't earning enough money. So I was like, I can't like maintain this. And that's why so many people turn their back on this profession and also education in general. So yeah, but there's ways to do it, and that's why Mentivity, what we're doing and why we're paying so well, is to showcase that it's important for us to pay people that provide these services on more than a living wage, and so that they can survive and they can enjoy their life as well. Because you know, I like to travel, I like to do my things, you know, and I want to enjoy my life too. It is about the young people, but it's also about my life too. So you know, I want to be able to do things that I enjoy, and I love traveling because it allows me to see the world in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's been my biggest investment, traveling. I decided not to buy a house way back when because I said I'm just going to travel. And that's brought me so much in my life. You know, that now buying a house, inshallah, won't be difficult. And I won't have to then sacrifice as much as I would have when I was younger. So yeah, it's just it's been a good journey.
My mum was so proud.
Yeah. She
so,
actually said it to me the other
proud.
day. I was gassed. She said it to me the other day. I was like, oh, thanks, Mum. Like, means a lot.
That's
you know?
amazing. That would be so proud.
Yeah. Well, she's got 7 children to be proud of as well.
Oh,
so,
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but no, I'm happy that she's working with Mentivity, and
That's beautiful.
That's important for me. Is that long term, and I've said this a couple of times. My aim is to retire my mum.
Yeah, she said this last time as well. Next time, who knows?
Yeah. But I know she's not going to want to be retired. She's going to be want to do certain things. But so when she sets up the respite, which is happening now, that's going to be like a real dream for her. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's been a teacher for a long time. So doing what she can do under
Yeah.
the banner of Mentivity is going to be really special, and that will really help us to sustain Mentivity House and generate income as well, and whilst making sure that these young people
Yeah.
are getting the education and support they deserve. So yeah. But I can't wait for you guys to come down and see it.
No, I can't wait to come down.
Same,
Amazing.
same,
Amazing. What's the best country you've been to, and where's somewhere you want to go?
Ooh, best
That's
country. It's a good question.
Like
Well,
maybe the most exciting trip.
most exciting trip. Barbados is always up there for me.
Are you from there?
Yeah, I'm half Bayesian, half Jamaican, so I love Barbados. But I love St. Lucia, you know. St. Lucia is
I wanna go to
really,
St. Lucia, yeah.
it's beautiful. It's just so picturesque and it's just very unique.
Yeah.
I love St. Lucia. But Kenya has my heart as well. I really love Kenya. But planning to go to Thailand for our honeymoon end of the year. I've always wanted to go there. Where else have I been? I just got back from Barcelona. Barcelona is one of my favorite European cities, if not
Really?
my number one. It's my number one.
Barcelona's a nice place.
Yeah.
Really?
Good weather and that.
Might do a weekender.
And-
Actually. That'd be
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, good food.
It's just
not
decent.
expensive.
Barca's decent.
It's really, really nice. My wife's like, I would live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's really because you got the best of being the city life, and then you
Yeah.
just walk 15 minutes and you're at the
My
marina.
friend moved there.
Yeah.
And he's like, bruv, because I'm telling you, you'd live there. I'm saying, I don't know. He's been over there. Has it been, I want to say 2-3 years now?
You speak Spanish now?
He was speaking Spanish within a year.
Oh, sick.
Love that.
Yeah, he was
Love
speaking
that.
Spanish within a year.
That's important.
That's
as well.
lit.
Quick flights and all that.
Yeah,
He's
it's only
he's-
2 hours flight, pretty much.
Yeah,
Like door to door it took me like 4 hours, door to door from my house to, and it's so seamless. It's so easy, and the food, some of the best food I've had in the world.
Really?
You got everything, like you got, and they really, because I'm gluten free as well, and we have all these allergies and stuff. But their food is so good, and it's not expensive at all. Really, really good.
Right,
So.
I'm going to plan a weekender there, actually.
Yeah,
Before
listen, I got
summer
the
ends.
itinerary. I went there, and there was a festival called a Neo Party worldwide. So I went there last year when I went to see for El Clasico,
Oh, yeah?
and there was this festival that was going on, but it was at a theatre. But this one was outdoor, so it's like
yeah.
Afro House.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
nice.
really proper sick. It was like the Spanish Somerset House.
Yeah, okay.
I got there, and you walked in, and it was just open, and it was so
Oh, that's
sick.
lit.
And it wasn't just; it was like intergenerational, and everyone was there
Okay.
just to dance and enjoy.
What month was that?
It was literally just last weekend. Last weekend. So they've got a pool party which they're doing on the 30th of August.
Okay.
But I'll send you the link. Neo Party
Yeah.
Worldwide. Really good vibes. So
That's
they had
lit.
European 305 there from North London. I thought they were
Okay.
actually from Europe, but they're actually from North London. They do a lot of Amapiano, Afro house tunes. They're really, really good
that's
producers.
amazing. Okay.
So it's really, really nice. So yeah, Barca's my... If I go
Your
anywhere in
go-to.
Europe,
Yeah.
it's Barca because I just enjoy it. It's nice. Good vibes, man.
Nice. Right.
I know we have to wrap up. I want to
Yeah.
ask one more question. Okay. Obviously, you know, as adults today, we think, okay, cool, we've been through certain things, we've made it out, we know more than the youth. How much does the thoughts and opinions of the youth become a consideration in how you formed Mentivity and going forward?
It's absolutely everything.
Cool.
It's underpinned by we do a consultation when we start the work with young people. We ask them what is it they want to learn, what they want to achieve, and that's very important to empower them. So why we do that is because if we continue to do it from our perspective, there's only certain things that we're going to see.
Yeah.
I don't understand what it's like for a young person living in this country at this time, because I know what it was like when I grew up, you know, in my teens in the 90s. It's totally different. So we have to make sure that even on our advisory board, we're setting up a youth advisory board and making sure that young people, they're not separate from our trustees for the charity when we get that going, that they're going to be part of that and immersed in that, because we need to train them to be in these spaces, to actually be voices in the room, because we make decisions without young people in the room all the time. Every decision that's made about young people, they're not included. And that's what I was talking about. The decision-making capacity is very, very minimal. So we have to make sure we're including them, and also really feeding back to them, like, this is what we've done based on what your feedback was, and now, like, how do you see this? And that's really important for them, because they want to see that, you know what, you've actually listened to me. Youth voice is important if it's utilised.
Yes.
You can't just say, all right, yeah, tell me what you feel, and then just leave it there. They'll be like, bruv, like, you taking a mic. Like, I've said to you, this is what we want, and you're going to done something totally different. Again, fueling that distrust. So we have to make sure that young people, because listen, young people, they're super intelligent. we have to learn so much from young people, and that's why I love being around young people, because they teach me something about myself or something new every single day. And it's not that we're always mentoring them; they can mentor us. You know?
Exactly.
So we have to be. We're never too old, too big, or too stubborn to learn. We have to be receptive to learning.
It's to Nigerian parents that.
It's not just Nigerians.
They know it all.
But it's important though. It really is important and breaking that mold. But we have to make sure that we meet in the middle, and that it's like we get the right balance. And if we can do that, then we're gonna really create something special. And I feel that that's what Mentivity is. It creates something which is actually collaborative rather than dictatorial. And that's really, really important. So. Yeah.
Cool. Someone in our community who runs a book club, big up Gin and Gist, she asked if you've got a library there, she'd like to donate some books.
You know what? This has come up a lot over the last couple of days. So yeah, we'll definitely see how we can take them on. The issue we have is around storage, so we have to figure that out. But we're gonna build some sort of outdoor storage. But we definitely need a book club, and that's really important. So yeah, get in touch with us. info@mentivity.com.
Lovely. That's info@mentivity.com. I've always loved when people do that ads. All right, so we've got some questions that we ask all of our guests. What's the first one? Tell us something people are usually surprised to learn about you.
Ooh, that I grew up on the Aylesbury estate.
No, we knew that.
no. When I say when I say that to people though, they're like, "Oh, yeah, okay, right." Like, is that near Peckham? I'm like, "Yeah, it is near Peckham." Something that I'm trying to remember what I said before, because I said something before. So something surprise. What did I say before?
If I'm not surprised to hear it, then you probably said it last time.
Yeah, exactly that. Something that what was the question again?
Something that people are usually surprised to learn about you. It could be like a new hobby you've developed since you were here last, or.
Yeah, you know what? I'm really, really passionate about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I started it early this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised you did not say that last time.
Yeah. But I didn't get to, it's just been crazy that I've not been able, because I started just before Ramadan, and then it was just went out the window, and I've been really going hard in the gym. But yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is like, once I stop playing football, that's going to be my thing. Because I love UFC. So I actually want to compete.
Where's Jiu-Jitsu from?
So I believe it's Japan, I believe. I believe it's from that region. But yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is they're like world renowned. So you've got the Gracie Barra schools and stuff. So my son did it for a bit, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because it's a life skill. You never know when you're going to need to protect yourself or protect somebody else. And it gives you that confidence.
My uncle told me that he thinks I should do it. But isn't that the one where they're all up on each other's skin and stuff?
Yeah.
Each other?
Well, you think you're going to be fighting from a distance?
We've
got superpowers.
Little tap here and there, little kick. I have high kicks, I will say that.
Listen. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the one. I actually saw someone use that when I was in Brazil. When someone had a knife. And this guy was about 6'5".
No way.
And the way he jumped and rolled on this guy's arm and then got him in an arm bar, and I saw this guy's arm like literally popping out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what was that?" And this guy was like, "Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, man." I was like, "No way." The way he moved was like some cat, and he was 6 foot. He was massive. But I watched UFC. I've been like a real fan. I took my son to watch UFC at Madison Square Garden last year.
Sick.
That was our little father-son coming of age trip. Yeah. So we saw 5 knockouts in a row, which was mad. It was crazy. It was supposed to be John Jones versus Miocic, but John Jones got injured. So I paid over the odds to go. And then when he got injured, I was like, "Oh my days, I'm fuming." But it was a really good experience. But UFC is my thing, man.
How many kids have you got?
Just one.
Yeah, I love the way you are with your son. It's really sweet. I think it was I saw him at the Spotify, but you can tell that's your son. You can like,
he
now
really
looks like you like. We literally like, "Oh, that's Sayce's son." Didn't even know the guy. Didn't know his name. Nothing. I was like, "Oh, that's Sayce's son."
Yeah, Cam's
lovely,
the man. He's
I love that man.
He's a very talented young man. He's
very precious.
Very, very proud of him. Very proud of him.
Beautiful.
So he's my one of my major inspirations alongside my mum. You know, so yeah, Cam's doing his thing. So
big up Cam.
Yeah, driving. Everything like different world for him.
That's beautiful, man.
Suburban youth.
What's your biggest life lesson?
Biggest life lesson, to not. I think I said this before, so I'm not going to say that. It was about giving too much to people. But my biggest life lesson is how I manage my own stress. I think I was talking about this yesterday with my friend with Tim and his wife Jasmine. Because my friend Dean, he opened a restaurant yesterday in Beckenham, Azoku. So
what's it called?
Azoku.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so I probably got the pronunciation right, and Dean's going to cuss me. But he did the one of the first openings yesterday. We were talking about stress and it being relative, because we have so much ups and downs. We've got to enjoy the ups. And when we do have the downs, we've got to manage that stress and know that it's not forever. Nothing lasts forever. And as I said, the last 9 to 12 months has been very difficult for me in terms of my own growth and trying to break free of some of the habits that I've been involved in and also experienced. And that's, those generational habits are very hard to break sometimes. And even the traits that we have within ourselves. So that's been something which, that growth within myself has allowed the rest of my life to grow and other things to be nurtured around, my wife, my son, my relationship with my mom and my people. There's people in my life now that are choosing to be there, that are my friends. I've got a really amazing group of friends that over the last 3-4 years have just become like my bona fide people. There's Tim Campbell, his wife Jasmine. You've got Dean Forbes, Danielle, his wife. You've got Lee Anderson, Shireen, his wife. You've got Davina and Jerome. Those are my people. And we went to Mykonos together in July. And it was the most beautiful trip. Just all married couples. Oh, and Leon and his wife as well. And it was just such a beautiful trip. And we went away. And normally you go away in groups. Something always pops off. You know what I mean? Something. There's some undertone. Not one inkling. It was it was a continual sound clash with good food, good weather.
Mature trip.
It was beautiful. And that's why you have to really focus on your energy, because then you attract the right people. And by doing that, so that's the biggest thing that I've pretty much learned and tried to implement. And I'm really at peace, And if today was my last day, like inshallah, it's not, but I'm grateful, I'm grateful to Allah, and Allah is at the center of everything that I'm doing, and my faith is very, very important. And learning, Arabic is the next thing, and learn about the Quran, and we have to have a guiding principle. Absolutely. And my guiding principle, I've always been a good person, but I want to improve, and I want to be an even better person, because this isn't the only life. And
bareback in life is it's tough.
Yeah. So,
that's lit. And our last guest had a question for you, and then you're going to leave a question for the next guest.
Okay.
And a guest said, "What's your biggest career moment?" Oh, this is perfect for you.
Biggest career moment. It's hard to pinpoint just one career moment, to be honest. But you know what? I will be honest with you. The Spotify film, launching that at Spotify, the center, and the nerves that I had.
Really?
You know why? Because I was part of the process from start to finish.
Okay.
So when people say that they were, part of the process, I was literally part of the editing process. So when it was the first edit, I was like, right, I've got feedback. And because of the stuff I did with the Wall FC, we did a lot, obviously, with the football, the YouTube. I had practice of that. So I was ready for this. And I was nervous because it was something so close to my heart and my being. So I was nervous how it's going to be received. When I watched it, and even every time I watch it, I get emotional because I know what I've put in personally and what people have put in to me to get to this point. And so it was just a real, that was a real moment for me, just looking around and just knowing that everyone was here for Mentivity. This is something that my son said it to me best. He said, "Dad, I'm so proud of you, because this was an idea in your mind that you've now literally brought to fruition through your hard work. I don't think you need to understand that, Dad." And he's so wise, my son.
I'm thinking this. Did you hit the Holmes-Lewis home? Intelligence up and down the gaff. Love it.
But when he said that to me, because I'm always like, my wife always says, "Oh, you're chasing the next dopamine fix." I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just, I've got more to do.
I've got more,
and I know within me that this isn't the end, so let me keep going.
And it's bigger than you. It wasn't given, you didn't decide you're going to do these things. It was placed in you to do these things.
And the film opens, it's a gift from God. It's a gift from Allah. And I need to understand that. Everyone needs to understand that. And so what was the question again? Sorry, career moment. That was a moment, because I literally, it was so overwhelming, but also at the same time, it was so rewarding. And I was just like, wow, I've done something totally different with an organization and a corporation that doesn't create movies, and that was something I was like, you know what, this is something that's going to be used going forward for a long time, just to raise awareness, and it's a feel-good factor, and it takes you on a journey in 10 minutes. So
it did, man.
Yeah.
You know how you've taken people on a journey and they're very connected? Is when it ends and there's that silence.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, okay, that's it. And then everyone then responds. It was absolutely beautiful, man. It was very, very beautiful.
No, thank you. It means a lot. Hopefully, inshallah, more to come.
Amen.
I want to create more content like that.
Amen.
So,
You're in your director bag now, sir. You absolutely will.
Producer.
producer.
Yemi's the director.
Wait,
He'll be like, yo, run. He said,
Sayce.
see what you do when I'm not on the show, Sayce. He'll be cussing me later on.
Imagine. And then can you kindly please leave a question for the next guest? It could be anything at all.
Oh, right. Okay. Question for the next guest. I remember the last one I said was about legacy. What are you going to do? All right. What are you currently doing to rectify or improve the negative traits that you have within to become a more positive person?
Well, damn.
I feel sorry for who that's for.
I love that though, but I like questions like that. I like deep,
Yeah.
self-growth, self-improvement, self-development, because it's very, very important.
It is.
We cannot, life doesn't stay the same. So there's no way why we think that we should be going through life that goes up, down, whatever, and we're just staying the same.
No, we can't.
It doesn't make sense.
Have to evolve.
So absolutely important.
Yeah.
So can you please let people again know where to donate for the fund for the raiser?
So mentivity.com. So if you go in there, you can learn more about our work. Then there's a link to our fundraiser, which is just given. So we're trying to raise £1 million. So we're tasking people, you can only donate the minimum of £2 on there. So if people donate £2 and everyone just does that, then we can get to our target. It's not much, group economics and all that. You can find us on Instagram at Mentivity, but also on TikTok. So at Mentivity, you can find me on Instagram, Sayce Holmes-Lewis, and also on TikTok, and also sayceholmeslewis.com. So please get behind our work. We're only as strong as our community, and we need you guys. So please get in touch and support us, not just now, in the long term. It's really important.
Wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations on everything that you've
Yes.
done. It's absolutely amazing to get to witness it. And we'll be down there very soon.
Yeah, listen, we'll make it happen. And just thanks for having me on. I love being on this show. So, and keep doing what you're doing. It's
Thank
really,
you.
really
Appreciate
important
it,
work.
man.
It really is. So giving
We
people a
appreciate
platform.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right, should we go to our last headlines today?
Let's do it.
Move the mic.
The mic.
I want to hear your business.
All right, people. So our next set of headlines, trigger warning on this one. A man has died and 6 people are missing after a UK-flagged super yacht sank off the coast of Sicily in a tornado with a prominent British businessman among those unaccounted for. Technology tycoon Mike Lynch owned a 56-meter vessel named the Bayesian. Mr. Lynch is known as the British Bill Gates, and he's been in the headlines in recent months over a high-profile fraud case. In June, he was cleared of all charges by a US jury related to the sale of his software company, Autonomy, to Hewlett-Packard in 2011. Mr. Lynch's 18-year-old daughter, Hannah, is among those missing after his yacht sank. This is what local media reports. And Mr. Lynch's wife, Angela Baccaris, is confirmed to be among the 15 people who were rescued by the British-flagged yacht capsized rescued after the British flagged yacht was capsized at around 4:30 local time. Sorry, people. Trigger warning on this next one, and this is pretty much related to our topic of the day. So this is pretty much like a wrap up and a reminder of what we spoke about. And a new report warns that too many strip searches of children in England and Wales are unnecessary, unsafe, and underreported. So data gathered by the Children's Commissioner Dame Rachel de Souza shows that from 2018 to mid-2023, police conducted more than 3,300 child strip searches. 1 in 20 did not comply with strict rules, including the need to have an appropriate adult present. This is what the report found. It was also concluded that black children were more likely to be searched, 4 times more likely. A Home Office spokesperson said, no child should ever be strip searched without an appropriate adult, unless there is a risk of serious harm to themselves or others, nor should they ever be conducted on the basis of their race and ethnicity. The report, which Dame Rachel said includes some previously unseen data, is part of a series commissioned following the high-profile case of child Q. Trigger warning again, who was a 15-year-old schoolgirl strip searched in 2020 at her school in Hackney, East London, after she was wrongly accused of possessing cannabis. It prompted outrage when it emerged in 2022. This is why we spoke about it on the show. And Dame Rachel told Radio 4's Today program that she was told at the time this was a one-off. So I used my data powers to find out whether this indeed was a one-off, And of course, she found out it was not. And our last headline, trigger one on this one as well. Hunters will be paid by Scotland's nature agency to kill extra deer in a bid to tackle problems in the countryside. I want to show Margs, you got extra time in your hand? Want to be a hunter and be paid?
I don't mind, you know.
Venison and that. Barbecue venison.
I'm on it still.
Well, what they're saying is qualified and eligible deer stalkers. You need to be qualified or eligible.
What's a deer stalker?
I have no idea. But basically, those deer stalkers in 2 parts of Scotland are being offered financial incentives for killing more deer than they're already doing. They have proliferated in numbers and range over the last 50 years, partly as humans wiped out their natural predators, lynx and wolves, and partly because more surviving winters made milder because of climate change. But too many deer spells bad news for Scotland's woodlands and wildlife as they munch on the saplings from tree planting projects and habitats for other animals as well. So yeah, they're bad for the environment, basically. That's what they're trying to say. So expanding depleted woodlands is vital to tackle climate change and biodiversity loss. But according to Nature Scott, it is simply not possible to do this in the presence of high densities of deer. It believes that the existing national cull needs to rise 25% or 50,000 deer per year over several years in order to hit targets to stop biodiversity loss by 2030 and restore nature across Scotland by 2045. They want to rise. 25% rise, increase. They want 50,000 more deer. Dead. What? Boy. All right, guys. Anyway, time to pay the bills.
All right, let's get into the reaction.
Just before we move on, I appreciate you, and you. Obviously, when it is we have guests that basically go past the allocated time. I know it eats into time and things that you normally have to do, so I appreciate you staying and just want to say that.
Oh, that's such a
Thank you,
best.
man. We appreciate
Aisha said...
No, that's the wrong one.
I was going to say,
Sorry.
it's not even my segment, child. Wasting reading time.
That was what Arsenal as well.
Welcome to the reaction, people, where I read out your sports headlines. This is a special reaction
Why?
because the league's back.
Do you know, yeah,
Football is back.
Free me, bro. Gosh. Didn't y'all just have one?
Football is back. The world
It never left.
It did.
It took away, didn't it?
I'm not gonna lie, the world feels right again. The world feels right again. The weekend, obviously, I was busy over the weekend. I didn't get a chance to indulge in as much football as I would have liked because needs must. But still, I knew it was happening. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? That
Felt it, right?
I
It
felt
was
it.
suddenly
Yeah,
there.
Like in the atmosphere. Like yesterday, like Monday night football again. My internet was messing up. Couldn't even watch it. Messed with me, but I was there.
It was there. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? I woke up in the morning. I've seen some highlights and stuff. Seen some people. It's just right again, Brent.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's just right, man.
No
So
further explanation needed, man.
let's talk you through it, man. The Premier League was back in action. It started on Friday night. Manchester United opened up the proceedings. They played Fulham at home. We beat them 1-0. It was a decent game. There's United look a little bit different, a bit more compact off the ball, look a bit more disciplined. You get me? A bit better defensively. Obviously, they've got injuries back and stuff like that, so you would expect that. They played some good stuff at times. Probably should have scored a few more goals. Been wasteful in front of goal. You get me? The finishing ain't there. You get me? Them man ain't killers, but they're always playing with their dinner in front of goal. They're not serious. But hopefully, Ruud van Nistelrooy can change that. But they got it done, man. That's all that matters. We got the 3 points and we kept the clean sheet. Got a dope debut from Mazraoui. He looks really good. Xerxes got his goal on his debut as well, so that was lit. Yeah, and then obviously we was top of the league.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was top of the league. Xerxes is going to be cold, man. But this ain't about United. This is about everything else. And obviously, then on the Saturday, that was my travel day. But in the morning, Ipswich was the early kickoff. Ipswich-Liverpool. Liverpool beat them 2-0. Ipswich, I don't want to say they're going to be all right. It was a home game, but especially for the first half as well. They was solid. And yeah, they done well. They played some decent stuff. They defended well. They kept Liverpool at bay for 45 minutes. Obviously, the second half it changed. Took them a little while to get going. I will say that move that they played for Jota's goal down the right side, Salah popped into Trent. You get me? Spun, running behind Trent, back to Salah, cross to Jota. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. This is what I was talking about when I was saying that football's back. You know what I'm saying? Mwah, chef's kiss.
The beautiful game is back.
The beautiful game. That was a lovely goal. That was a lovely, lovely goal. So they got that done. Big up Ipswich. Get me there, the new boys in the Prem. Other results around the league, the 3 p.m. kickoffs. Newcastle beat Southampton 1-0, even though they went down to 10 men. Fabian Schär got sent off, but they still done their thing. I think that was a Joe Linton goal, I believe. Forest and Bournemouth was 1-1. I didn't catch any of that game. Sorry to disappoint you guys. Brighton absolutely battered Everton. It could have went the other way because Everton scored first, didn't it? Got the goal disallowed. But then, yeah, they just rampant on them. Rough shot. Yeah, just battered them up. Brighton look like they're going to play some good stuff this year again. They always get it right with their recruitment and their players and their managers. It's usually kind of seamless, isn't it? It's like they just play good football.
Yep.
Yeah, sick. So looking forward to see what's going on over there. And obviously, Arsenal done away with Wolverhampton Wanderers. That was no issue there.
Nope.
Goals from Saka and Havertz and assists from Saka and Havertz, right? Yeah, good link up. Looked like some good stuff. Saka done his trademark cutting in from the right. You get me? Powerful left foot, keeper never stood a chance. And I believe Havertz leaped up like a salmon, innit? Nice header. Yeah. Good stuff over there. 2-0. And then actually the evening game was Villa West Ham. They both made some signings and stuff like that. Onana made his debut, bossed the game, scored as well, looked really good. West Ham made new signings. I don't think none of them started. That's the game changed a bit when Fulker come on. I know Tobido and Wan-Bissaka didn't start either, but West Ham looked like they're going to be all right. I thought that game was going to be a draw, and we nearly got there in the end. The two decent outfits. Villa are probably the better team. Definitely, actually, the better team. But West Ham are still all right. But Villa pulled through in the end to get the win. It was a good game. It was a decent tie. Sunday, we had Brentford and Crystal Palace. I never seen none of that. And then we had Brentford beat Palace 2-1. And then City Chelsea. I was filming Pen Game, so I couldn't watch that. I saw all the uproar about Sterling not being in the squad. The racist Enzo being the captain. There was a lot going on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. More of the same from City, Haaland, 100 games, 91 goals. That is not a joke.
Yeah, it's not.
That is not a joke. You get me? That Rico Lewis is decent. I told you, Ellis was saying the other day, we've got to call him Rico Luis. We've got to call him Rico Luis, man. Rico Luis is cold, man. He's decent. And being young and growing up in that City team, you're only going to be destined for greatness if they're going to give you the opportunities. It's like with Phil Foden, innit? They wouldn't loan Foden out. They kept him in and around the team, waited. He's playing with absolute bad boys every day, and his coach is a genius. Obviously, he's going to be cold. And I think it's the same for Rico, man. I think it's the same. Oscar Bob's dope as well, but obviously he got the injury, so he missed that, but he probably would have featured at some point. But yeah, Rico Luis looks decent. But Chelsea... Did he catch any of that game?
Yes, I did.
What was Maresca? Because I know like he's very style heavy, tactics and that. Is it noticeable like the way that they're playing, like the possession based?
Not familiar with Chelsea's game, so no, I don't know.
Did you see a distinction in the way that they play football? I know it's very possession based, short passing, controlled.
To be honest, there were opportunities for them to actually like score. Like they actually looked like they were. It was a challenge for Man City in certain parts. So I think it was a good win for Man City.
Okay.
I wasn't watching Chelsea and thinking, oh, you're absolutely crap. They were actually playing decent in splits. That's from my eyes anyway.
Okay, that's cool. Well, there's gonna be growing pains, like I said, because of his style, because of the way they wants to play, and he's changing so much, and obviously their whole thing with their recruitment and then this is young teams. It's gonna take a while for them to get to their destination. You know what I'm trying to say? Like Maresca's always played good football what he did at Leicester, and obviously he comes from Man City and that as well. So it might take times, but it wasn't a thing where I was thinking, yeah, they're absolutely terrible, even with all the bad results in pre-season. I was on the mindset of like, this kind of thing gonna happen, if that makes sense. It's gonna take time.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, they did that. What else is going on? Transfer news. I think Joao Felix is in London. He's getting ready to pattern up with Chelsea, and likewise, Conor Gallagher's been given permission to go to Atletico. I think they're gonna work out a swap deal for the players. It's sounding like they're gonna get that done. What's happened in recent history? Palestri's just gone to, is it Villarreal or Valencia? Villarreal, I think. 6 million euro fee to Manchester United. Palestri's out of there. I think I saw something else that you lot might be interested in. Gundogan. Gundogan might be going back to Man City.
Serious?
Yeah. He's good though, you know.
How old is he now?
He is old, but I don't know. I wasn't watching him in Barca like that, but I got a feeling whatever he had, he hasn't lost it. You get me? It's not like he was some speed demon or some pace merchant or something like that. So I feel like whatever he had, he hasn't lost it. And it wouldn't be a star, it would be a squad player. And it's still Gundogan. I think if they get that done, that'd be quite interesting. I think he's cold. I think he's cold. So yeah, that would definitely be interesting to get him back at City. Blah, blah, blah. Anything? Any more?
Someone just sent this. I don't know what it is. First time seeing this.
Guardiola, the best manager in this league is Mikel Arteta. Yes. So who else do I go and get?
No. Apart from Pep Guardiola, the next best manager is Unai Emery.
No, you're chatting rubbish. Rubbish. Listen, hold on. There's only one manager, right? There's only one.
What the fuck Mikel Arteta win over Unai Emery?
Listen, let me tell you.
No, man, come on.
You look at football. You look at football in a different. Listen, let me finish.
Robbie's a fool because he actually believes that. Everybody's entitled to their opinions, but I don't understand how you can even make that argument. I've had it. I don't know if we've done it here. I've done it on Filthy. I've said it previously, and man having an argument, man think I'm being stupid. There's no way in hell you could tell me Mikel Arteta's a better gaffer than Unai Emery. 3 Champions Leagues in a row. 3 European trophies in a row and that. Like, Europa's in a row and that. And you've just got Villa in the Champions League now and stuff. Like, come on, man. Arteta's FA Cup is with Unai Emery's team. You know what I'm trying to say? I think Unai went to Arsenal, was the first try, got them in Champions League. Like, it's chalk and cheese here. Like, my man's a proper coach with a long history and a CV, like a proper coach. Yeah. Not someone just doing good on their first rodeo and their first little outing. It's not even, I don't understand why you'd even try and compare them.
But who would you say has done better for Arsenal?
For Arsenal?
Yeah.
Well, he had longer, but...
Because I think maybe that's why.
Arteta's FA Cup, he won it with Unai's team.
Okay.
Unai got Champions League first time, took Arteta a little while. He just got Champions League like that. Arteta ain't done. I don't know. You know what? Maybe Arteta, the way they're going challenging for the league, they're in a good space right now. Arsenal are a good team, playing good football and stuff like that. So maybe on a whole, you might go there. 2 things can be true. He could be doing better for Arsenal, and Unai be the better manager. I don't understand what you know what I'm trying to say. They can. Those opinions could exist at the same time. Brent doesn't agree.
I think it's a nuanced debate. Why? Because we're talking about the intangibles, right? I was guilty of not understanding how you can compare Unai with Arteta until you basically factored in his history, right? And I'm very blinkered when it comes to Arteta because I can see where he's now taken Arsenal. Complete overhaul. Complete from the abyss to challenging in Europe, right? So I took a step back and I'm hearing what you're saying right now, right? And I don't think you'd be saying the same thing maybe in 5 years' time. I think it would be a clearer opinion on let's now compare them because Arteta would have had enough time to basically, get some quote-unquote history because this is his flipping first time in job in this particular position. His first time. And it's not Unai Emery's. Do you understand? We selected him above Arteta in the first place. So I have to apologize for the first instance of us going back and forth because I was completely blinkered. I'm thinking, how can you compare? It's like apples and oranges. We had Unai. Unai was not the fit for us. Unai couldn't do what it is that we needed him to do, but Arteta came in and changed the entire club. He changed, I mean, even how it is he presents himself to the world. That's top level. Do you understand? So these are things, these are intangibles that are factoring into my decision because I would never pick Unai for this position.
Okay.
Do you understand? And I get the argument. So come back to me in a few years' time and then let's have that discussion. Because right now I will still pick Arteta, but I can see what you're saying. Because how can you now look to shite on everything that Unai has done? That's the reason as to why he was even brought into us in the first place. Because they believed, 100%, we need to change our tactics, we need to change our strategy, we need to bring the entire philosophy from the Arsene Wenger era to the modern age. Do you understand? So they thought maybe Unai could do it because he's that guy, right? Who could see all these triangles and this, that, and next.
Yeah, he needs a longer tenure because obviously there's a lot of gaffers who have got their things on their side. Form's temporary, class is permanent. You go through ups and downs. So there's going to be times in their careers where they're doing good, where they're riding high, when they're not, whatnot. That doesn't discredit who they are and what they've done.
Plus, he's gotten Arteta's number twice last season. Do you understand? So even our next game is against Unai. I'm like, all right.
That's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Do you understand? So I'm excited about. Are you going to basically undo the hoodoo? Because right now there is he's taught you, and Arteta would be fuming that twice he did it. So I'm looking forward to the next match.
In my mind as well, and because I remember saying forget fans and they're chatting shit like because when you were saying like would you want to make United and this that all the stuff like because time at Arsenal whatever I hear all of that, but one thing we will not do, I will not let anyone do is try and dispel the fact that try and push me off the point that Unai Emery is a top coach. Like,
look what he's done at Aston Villa. Look at what he's done at Aston Villa and beat this invincible Arsenal. Do you understand? Twice.
He's a good coach, man. He's a good coach. Didn't work out the best for him. But again, man, it's just because it's England as well, man. And this media and this PR and all that. Everyone bantered the Arsenal's toxic fan base and their big influence on social media and the whole goodie binning and like his PR was terrible.
Yeah, he couldn't keep up. He couldn't keep up. He couldn't even.
And what's mad is, I haven't checked. He's probably still saying goodie binning the same way.
Probably is.
But he's not. But they're not bothering him.
Press conferences.
They're not bothering him at Arsenal. No. I mean, at Villa. You get me? It's less toxic. Just letting him do his thing. He's up, man. Anyway, that's the end of the reaction. I'm running out of time. I've got to go. I told them 12 and they're calling me 10 minutes early. It doesn't make sense.
Wrap up.
Yeah.
Big up Stacey. Happy birthday, girl.
Get some confetti.
Stacey, man. Anyone born in August
Is lit.
is lit. That's what I say. My birthday.
Well, unless I don't like you, then. Unless I don't like you.
My birthday's on Sunday. So
How you feeling?
This one coming or next week?
Sunday coming.
I've already got the notification on my phone.
So maybe
Brendan, remember people's names.
maybe you lot can get me my cake on Friday.
This is it, Mags. This is it.
I could do some cake chow. His birthday's after yours.
This is it, man.
Lit, man.
Well, yeah, we had a very, very, very good show today.
You did, man. Great show.
Man. Yeah, make sure you check it out. We had a dope guest. Sayce was on.
Big up Sayce.
The interview was good. We love a callback. You get what I'm trying to say? We love a man who lives his raps. You get me? He told us he was going to go do something, went away, did it. Forwarded back.
Did that.
Yeah, man.
Sorry to cut you. Can I also say, yeah, I didn't give Stacey a score in it.
Oh, yeah, was it?
33.
Woo! I'm so happy for him. I was really because he was really answering like the money was on the line.
Yep. Second place, 26, 33 to 26. There's a big gap.
That's what I love, man. Love that, man. Knocked out the park. Big up Sayce. Y'all go let Sayce know.
All right, yeah, so check that out. That was a great interview. Some of our headlines that we spoke about, obviously, I think they're saying that there's high chances that there's somebody on this godforsaken island with monkeypox. potentially. So these are real safe out there. Trigger warning: there was a woman stabbed. She died, and the 17-year-old girl's critical in Manchester. Hope she's all right. Our topic of the day was about our black children still being likely to be stopped and searched in 2024. There's a great discourse behind that. Kind of tied into what we was talking about with Sayce and all that, with the youth work. Okay, I forgot that. Esther,
What happened?
you done Word on Road?
I did. I just talked about a bunch of stuff, TV stuff. Big up Michaela Cole. She's got a new show coming up.
And she said that Topanga's got breast cancer. I wasn't here for that. I was outside.
Yeah.
That's sad. We like Topanga.
Yeah. But she's getting the treatment she needs, and she's encouraging people to go and get checked. So that's very important as well.
All right, cool. And then there was a weekend roundup of the football because obviously it's the first round of football, Premier League action. Back at it.
I got
the
chills when you
reaction.
said first round. It's going to be a long winter.
The action was dope, man. But yeah, we got to get out of here, man.
Do man. Follow us on socials though.
Yes.
The day after TNB, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and on TikTok. Follow us on there. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for always showing up. Appreciate you guys for engaging with us. Y'all are great. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you here tomorrow.
Peace.
Bye.